A pleasant Friday evening to you all, and welcome in to Truman, Arkansas, here on the Tubetown Facebook page. Thank you so much for joining us on this Friday evening. A little bit cloudy, a little bit muggy, but hopefully the rain is going to stay out of the area for this first conference matchup of the 2018 football season between the Truman Wildcats and the Rivercrest Colts. Andy Manus here with you this evening to bring you all the play-by-play action. Going to be giving you some color commentary as well. Got me flying solo up here in the press box here at the brand new beautiful field at RMC Stadium. The Truman has laid down the turf. They've got everything just looking beautiful here, and very excited to be bringing you tonight's football game again here from Truman, and thanks for joining us on Facebook. Rivercrest has won the toss, so they are going to have possession first in tonight's football game. Of course, they are coming into tonight's game with a record of 3-0, as you see on your screen there. A big win for the Rivercrest Colts last week against their rival, the Osceola Seminoles. A 2-point victory for Coach Johnny Fleming and the Colts. 16-14 the final there. And you know that the emotions are still riding high coming into tonight's game, but they have to focus on the task at hand, and that is Coach Craig Green and the Truman Wildcats. Truman with their first victory of the year last week against Paragould, 28-7. There's the kick. It'll be taken inside the 25-yard line. Now out to the 30. A big seam right up the middle. Across the 45-40. Down the far side, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, the opening kickoff of tonight's football game, and it's Travis Smith, the junior Colt, taking it the distance, a good 75 yards. And it only took about 14 seconds off the clock in the first quarter. What a way to start tonight's football game. As you see here on the Ritter Communications replay, he took it right between the hash marks, only had the kicker left to beat, and it was a foot race. J. Taylor Morgan coming in here at the end alongside the kicker Gunnar Parks. Parks had a chance to get that shoestring tackle there, but could not bring him down. So Travis Smith, 75 yards and 6 points for the Colts. How about that? I don't think we've ever had that happen on Tubetown before. There's the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is no good. According to the referees, that's always weird. It looks good from this vantage point, but you got to wait on the referee's signal. They say no good, so the score after the opening 14 seconds, Rivercrest 6, Truman nothing. We're going to go ahead and keep it right here and just talk a little bit more about both of these teams here in tonight's football game. Again, the Truman Wildcats 1-2 on the season. They're riding high with a lot of emotion tonight, but got to feel a little bit deflated after surrendering a kickoff on the opening kickoff of the football game. But maybe they got a chance to return one of their own right here. They've already got their return team on the field. Rivercrest is yet to put their kicking squad out there. Again, Travis Smith, the Rivercrest Colt, who strikes first. And Rivercrest taking their time getting their team out on the field. The play clock already at 0. They do start it on kickoffs, but here come the Colts. Unbelievable. Did not think when we arrived here at RMC Stadium that we're going to have a opening kickoff taken back for a touchdown. I'm not even sure a Wildcat got a hand on him there. So now everything all lined up. Take a look at that beautiful new scoreboard here for Truman. Nice video board. There's a kick. It's a short kick from the Colts. Return man comes up to the 20 to take it. And he'll muff it, and it'll roll out of bounds. So here come the Truman Wildcat offense out on the field to try to answer that quick 6 points from the Colts. Put up 28 points against the Paragould Rams last week. Had a tough task ahead of them the week before in a 35-7 loss against Shiloh Christian. And then dropped a very close game at the very beginning of the year at Hoxie. The final score there, 31-28. So Wildcats are 1-2, but they're not 1-2 by much. Here we go, quarterback under center. He'll hand it off right up the gut. And some hard-nosed running that time from the Wildcats' Noah Milligan. But there is a flag on the play, so this one could be coming back. See him fight off a couple of tackles there. But it is going to go against the Colts. You saw on the replay, one of the defenders got his hands inside the shoulder pads, inside the jersey there of Milligan, so they'll be called for a horse collar tackle and give the Wildcats a little bit of an advantage here on their first drive of the ball game. Started on their own 25-yard line. Now they've got it into Colt territory at the 45, 1st and 10. Let's see if we can get a couple of zigzags here on the Colt 45. Well, he zigged, but he didn't zag. He gets bottled up right at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 now coming up.
Colt Bingham on the run for the Wildcats. No gain on the play, brought down by number 1.
See Will Ryan White coming over here to get the play from his coach. Played a little bit of wide receiver. Now he's moved over here into the quarterback position. His pH balance is great too. You see his long locks of hair there. 2nd and 10 coming up. One wide receiver for the Wildcats. It's another handoff to Milligan right up the gut. He's across the 35, the 30 down the far sideline. Taken down just shy of the 25. More than enough to move the chains for another Wildcat first down. Take another look at the replay here, and he just lowers his shoulder. Outran the linebacking core and able to find some space over there on the far sideline. 3 plays so far here for Truman, and they are threatening to get inside the red zone early. One wide receiver lined up over there on the far side. That's Milton Lewis III. Now here's a run to the outside, to the right. Made his way to the far side 20 on the numbers. Let's see if they give him a spot. If so, that is pretty good pickup there on first down on the ground once again, and it is about a 6-yard gain, so 2nd and 4 now coming up for the Wildcats. And just in a handful of plays, they have marched it down the field thanks to Noah Milligan, a couple of big runs, and then, of course, that penalty a moment ago. Here's White on a run. He's going to take it himself to the left, and he will move it down to about the 15-yard line. That'll move the chains once again for another Truman first down, and the Wildcats continue to march.
And that's good for another
So now White will come back out, deliver the play to the huddle. We'll see if Rivercrest wants to change anything defensively now that their backs are a little bit against the wall, and they've got all 10 guys lined up in the box here trying to guard the run. It's a run right up the gut, and the tailback dragging a defender. It's Jay Taylor Morgan who brings the ball down to the 5-yard line, and just like that, it's 1st and goal. And look at this. Dodged the defender on the left and took a Colt with him all the way down to the 5. The Colt had him by at one leg, and he was just hopping his way down there. Under 9:30 to play here in the first quarter. Truman's opening drive. If you're just joining us, Rivercrest scored on the opening kickoff of tonight's football game, and the Wildcats have tried to answer in a hurry here. Here's White on a fake quarterback keeper reaching for the end zone. The referee's going to say he's down at the 1, but Will Ryan White with a keeper will make it 2nd and goal. Again, from the 1. Nice little run on the outside edge there from Will Ryan White. His name is a little bit difficult to pronounce. I won't even try to kid you. Try to say it 3 times fast and you will stumble. Colts have got 4 down linemen, it looks like. 3 down linemen with 2 guys rushing the edge. They're just going to run it right up the guts. Colts were there to meet them. The Wildcats think they got in. There's the signal. And on the Wildcats' opening drive of this football game, they will put it in the end zone for 6 points. Take another look, and it's Milligan on the handoff right up the gut. He is rewarded for those 2 big runs he had earlier on this drive. So Will Ryan White will come on to attempt the extra point. He does it all here for the Wildcats to try to put it through the uprights and give the Wildcats a 1-point lead. Kick is up, and it's good. Oh, good little ball game we've got on our hands here in the first 4 minutes. In Truman, the Wildcats lead it by 1, 7-6 over Rivercrest with 8:20 to play in the first. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
The Jonesboro Advertising and Promotion Commission welcomes you to the Downtown Jonesboro Barbecue and Music Festival. This year's festival kicks off Friday, September 28th with the 2nd annual SCA State Contest and live music from Fuel. Then Saturday, it's the 10th annual KCBS Sanctioned Barbecue Contest with $10,000 in cash prizes. Then Saturday night, Smash Mouth rocks the Ritter Communications stage. Hey now, you're an all-star. It's the Downtown Jonesboro Barbecue and Music Festival, September 28th and 29th, presented by the Jonesboro A&P Commission.
A 6-play, nearly 4-minute drive from the Truman Wildcats, capped off by a 1-yard touchdown rush from Noah Milligan. Made it 6-6. Will Ryan White attempted the extra point, got it, made it 7-6. Here's an onside kick, taken at the 50, returned to the Truman 45-yard line, and kicked it right to one of the biggest guys on the field, DeKeys Slayton. He was ready to get a big boy touchdown. He took off running with it, and in turn, the Rivercrest Colts will come out on offense for the first time tonight at the Truman 45-yard line. Again, if you are just joining us, Rivercrest scored on the opening kickoff of tonight's game, a 75-yard return from Travis Smith. They missed the extra point, and now they have it at the Wildcat 45, trailing by 1. There's big DeMylan Brown on the handoff, or on the carry, rather. DeMylan Brown has shown his arm a little bit this year. Got a couple of touchdowns. Kentavious Robinson in the backfield now, though. He is averaging 2 touchdowns a game. Sends a man in motion. Robinson's going to keep it himself, running right up the gut across the 40-yard line. Down near the 35 at the near side hash marks. I think they'll spot him at about the 36. That'll bring up 3rd and short. So 2 back-to-back running plays. Let's see if they want to stick to the ground game, and I would imagine with the stable of horses that they have, that's what they're going to do. Kentavious Robinson can flat out run the football, and so can DeMylan Brown. Brown takes the snap now, hands it off to Robinson. Robinson running to his right, has a gap across the 35 down to the 30. Got the first down, yardage, and more. All the way down to the 28. They'll get a new set of downs, and they will march further into Truman Wildcat territory on their first offensive possession of the night, trailing by 1. So 1st and 10, they'll have it actually spotted at the 29. I misspoke and said 28 a minute ago, so they'll back them up a yard. 3 wide receivers set for Brown. Fakes the handoff to Robinson. He's going to run to the left. Got a block, going to throw now. Got a wide open man at the 15, the 10, taken down at the 5. And that was a heads-up play there by DeMylan Brown, a little option keeper, but instead found an open man downfield. Great job using his eyes to keep that play alive and make a big play. Now 1st and goal coming up for Rivercrest. 5th play of this drive coming up. Only about a minute and 20 gone by since the Colts got the football. Bit of a power I formation here. Hand off to Robinson. No, DeMylan Brown's going to keep it himself, trying to find that goal line, and he got in there. Sandwiched between a couple of Truman Wildcat defenders, DeMylan Brown finds the end zone from 4 yards out, and he will put the Colts back on top. Take a look at this option play moments ago that set up that touchdown. You saw he had the room to the outside edge. You saw the cornerback come up to try to prevent him from rushing, and that left the wide receiver wide open out there, Riley Jones. And then here's the touchdown rush from DeMylan Brown. He brings it across the goal line, able to hold on to the football. And again, the Colts are up 12-7 now. A flag on the extra point attempt. And they may take this half yard that the Wildcats gave them and try to do something here with it. So they are going to take that that yard advantage that they got. The ball's normally spotted on the 2. With the penalty, it brings it half the distance. So I'm just going to say, hey, let's make up for it here. Brown with Robinson standing to his right. There's the pitch. Robinson had one man to beat. He spun into the end zone, lost the football, but it didn't matter. The referee said he hit the ground, and the Wildcats defend the 2 points. Great defensive stand by Truman, and they will keep the margin at 5. 12-7 is the score with 6:54 left to play in the first. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
You live. We put you first. Introducing You First Banking, only at First National Bank.
Andy Manus back here with you at RMC Stadium in Truman. The Wildcats now trailing the Rivercrest Colts here in the first quarter. 12-7. The Colts with a nice little passing play from DeMylan Brown to Riley Jones set up a 3-yard touchdown rush from DeMylan Brown. They attempted the 2-point conversion to try to get that extra point back they missed earlier. Could not get it, and now they're kicking it off. Here's Will Ryan White, the quarterback. Takes it from inside the 10. Now he bounces outside to the 20, and he will be dropped at about the 21-yard line. Again, Will Ryan White out here doing everything, folks. He's playing quarterback. He's taking kicks back. He's kicking the ball on extra point attempts. Interested to see if he punts it as well. I haven't seen a 4th down come up here for the Wildcats, and I know for the Wildcat faithful, they hope they don't see one here on this drive. They're going to try to answer that 5-play, 2-minute drive from the Colts a moment ago. So White will step back up with a Milligan in the backfield. One wide receiver over on the far side. White spins, runs between the left tackle and guard, and now pushed backwards. He'll back up beyond the 20-yard line. Let's see if they gave him forward progress. I think they gave him about a yard of forward progress. So that should make it 2nd and 9 now.
Gain of 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Wildcats.
So now from their own 23-yard line. White comes back out with the play. Gotta say, I was very impressed with the way they were able to rush the ball on that first drive, especially you look at those 2 big old boys clogging up the middle for the Rivercrest Colts defense. Hands it off to Milligan. Milligan runs right into one of those 2 big old boys.
Oh, Milligan with the run.
See big 72 standing in there. Stephen Range. Logan Gray also in there.
Gain of 1 yard. It'll be 3rd down and 8 for the Wildcats.
72 and 50 respectively. You can't go without mentioning Kendarius Brooks over there on that line either. So now 3rd and 8 coming up, and I'm loving this video that's up on the video board right now. They brought out the Shia LaBeouf, just do it. Let's see if the Wildcats can do it here on 3rd down. White looking to throw, got a man tipped at the 37-yard line. Intended receiver trying to get it out to Jay Taylor Morgan. Take another look at the replay. Play action, he rolls out. Good pressure there from Logan Gray and a couple of other Colts. And then I believe that was Kentavious Robinson getting a fingertip on it. And it will now be 4th and 8. And how about that? It's not Will Ryan White out coming to punt. It's going to be Jay Taylor Morgan. Joined now at our broadcast position by Marcus Carlton.
How's it going, Andy?
We've got a ball game on our hands. A muff punt at the 40-yard line. Now taken out to the 45, the 50. Some dancing here on the near sideline. And that punt return taken all the way to the Truman 45-yard line. A little bit of fancy footwork there from Keyshawn Scott.
Not a bad return there after he bobbled the initial catch and kind of made something out of nothing is the best way to put that.
Good end-over-end punt that time from Jay Taylor Morgan as well. Gave his return team plenty of time to get down there. Just couldn't take advantage of the muff punt. Let the return man get a little more than I'm sure Coach Green wanted him to get. So now, after that 3 and out from the Wildcats, here come the Colts. Once again on the Wildcat 47-yard line. Brown will fake the handoff on the jet sweep. He'll hand it off right up the middle to Keyshawn Scott, and Scott will pick up about 9 on that first down carry.
Good carry right up the middle. You'll see here on the Ritter Communications replay. Good blocking, seal it off, get right up the middle, and he's 5 yards deep before anybody touches him.
Yeah, his center and his guard both did a great job of turning their man.
Right, they sealed off, yeah.
Gave him a perfect opening to run through. So now 2nd and 1 coming up. Empty backfield for Kentavious Robinson. Brown is lined up over there on the left. Here he goes in motion. He'll take the handoff. Now he's looking like he wants to throw down the near sideline. Oh, had a man at the 5, but it was over his head, and it was Travis Smith who had a chance of catching that, but he had to battle through some traffic.
Yeah, he had defense all over him, but he had a chance here. If you can see it right here, once the pass is thrown, it's just out of reach. You know, if there had been contact there, you could have easily called pass interference because the defensive back did not turn around and look for the ball. But he did a good job of maintaining a little bit of space.
I'm pretty amazed at how accurate that throw was from Brown. I mean, no, it was incomplete,
on the money,
but it was as on the money as you could be without it being a catch. Here's Kentavious Robinson with a big run to the outside. He bounces to the 20, now knocked out of bounds at the 15-yard line. A big pickup on the ground that time underneath the legs of Kentavious Robinson.
He's got wheels, Andy. That kid can move.
We talked about him, and you see him just make one move at the line of scrimmage, and he's gone.
Yeah, you got a little bit of a bad angle there by the defense, added another 15 yards. Could have been a late hit, out of bounds called there, but it wasn't.
Well, and it was the quarterback for the Wildcats, Ryan White. Again, talking about him doing it all tonight. He's out there playing safety as well. Just saved a touchdown by chasing Robinson out of bounds.
That's not who you want throwing hits, though.
No, not at all. Brown running to his right now, trying to find the corner. Can't find much of one. He might have gotten a yard, maybe a little more than that, actually. Well, they'll spot him a good 4, so 2nd and 6 coming up. That was a long 4.
Well, he ran about 20 yards to get 4 on the gain there, but, you know, Truman forced him out of bounds and keep him from getting to the corner of the end zone.
So now they will have it 2nd and 6. They're in the red zone. We'll see if they can follow up on their previous drive here. Scott in the backfield. He's going to bounce off one defender, but a great second effort by the defense.
Yes, great effort there by the defense to get off of their blocks and shut that run down really before he got started. I'm not sure. He might have got 1 yard, maybe 2. We'll see where they spot it here.
It looks like they gave him about a yard.
Looks like, so
still,
scoreboard says still on the 11.
Maybe half a yard, I guess. So it will be 3rd and 6 coming up here. Kentavious Robinson in the backfield, standing to the left, faking the handoff. Brown looking to throw now. He's in trouble. Fires it right at the 5-yard line. That went through about 3 pairs of hands.
Yeah. You had a chance to have a spectacular play there. It just wasn't sure if it was going to be offense or defense that made the play.
Well, the ball doesn't lie.
We got a flag too, Andy.
The ball doesn't lie. It just didn't know where it was going. Yeah, flag is dropped back here at the 7, it looks like.
Where that was thrown right at the line of scrimmage, it's probably either going to be a hold or an offsides. And considering how the quarterback was scrambling, I'm going to say hold. Oh, let's see. An eligible receiver, I believe is what they called. And I think Truman's going to decline it and force Rivercrest to go on 4th down here. Force them to make a decision.
And again, Rivercrest has at 4th and 6. They don't have to score a touchdown to reset the chains. All they got to do is get down to the 5-yard line.
Correct.
But it looks like they're bringing a whole new unit on the field.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a field goal attempt here. You know, a few weeks ago when we were over at the brand new stadium at Rivercrest when they were playing Valley View, didn't they have a pretty good kicker? I'm trying to remember. I was in the production truck that night. So
they did, and if I remember correctly, I want to say that he hit one from about this distance,
I
if
think
not
so.
farther. It was at least 26 yards, and I'd say that's roughly the distance of this one. There's the kick. It's up.
Nothing wrong with that.
And nope, nothing at all. Through the uprights, and the Rivercrest Colts underneath the leg of Riley Jones will extend their lead. Now 15-7 over the Truman Wildcats. 3:28 left to play in the first. We're back with more first quarter action right after this on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
You've got a lot of choices when you buy home furnishings. There are many reasons to choose Hubbard & Hoke Furniture, Blytheville and Osceola.
At Hubbard & Hoke, you'll find a great selection of furniture, appliances, bedding, and electronics with outstanding service, 6 ways to finance your purchase, and free local delivery.
Plus, you'll get a great deal every day on name brands you know and trust.
Great deals, outstanding service, and free delivery. You're going to love
Hubbard & Hoke Furniture, Blytheville and Osceola.
Welcome back to RMC Stadium. Andy Maness joined by Marcus Carlton here in the first quarter between Truman and Rivercrest, the first conference matchup, the 2018 football season. Rivercrest hitting a 32-yard field goal from Riley Jones. Makes it 15-7. It has been a good first quarter for Coach Fleming and the Colts.
A lot of action here in the first quarter. Had the opening kickoff return. Truman punches back, and then Rivercrest counter punches again. So we may be in for a shootout tonight.
And nothing gets you ready for the rest of the football game like an opening kickoff return for a touchdown. Here's an excellent kickoff taken inside the 10-yard line, and it looks like it's Will Ryan White once again. He's across the 20, across the 30. Hit hard on the near side. Hash marks at the 35, and the Wildcats will come back out and try to repeat their first drive success. They just marched it right down the field on Rivercrest. 6 plays, only took about 3 minutes off the clock.
Andy, that was a big response after that, giving up that opening kickoff by Truman to come down and not only score but take the lead briefly.
And no doubt about it. They capitalized on it for sure. Again, took the 1-point lead, but defense has not been able to keep the Colts out of the end zone the last 2 drives. Let's see if the offense can put up an answer. A little bit of a double handoff there. And it's J. Taylor Morgan who will bring it to the 37-yard line on the near side hash marks.
Just about a 3-yard pickup there. But, you know, that offense that Truman's running, it's real easy to lose track of the ball if you don't concentrate and stick to your assignment.
Well, I think that could easily be said for both the offense and the defense.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
So now let's see what they do here on 2nd and 7. Lone wide receiver here on the near side. White under center. Milligan in the backfield behind him. Milligan's going to take the handoff. Hit and driven backwards. Stout defensive stand that time from Rivercrest. Easton Elder, one of the leading Colts, getting through the line to lay the lumber.
Yeah,
I'd say that.
Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, I'd just say that Milligan's probably twice his size. As you see, number 14, he got a little bit of help there.
He got low, got his center of gravity really low, and was able to just hold him until a teammate could get there to help him. Sometimes that's all you got to do.
So now that'll bring up 3rd and 7 after no gain, nearing the 2-minute mark here in the first quarter. And again, 10 guys loaded up in the box for the Colts. White looking to throw, flushed out of the pocket down the near sideline, too tall for the intended receiver. Trying to find MJ Barnes here on the near sideline. Would have been a great catch. Also would have been a first down, but just thrown too high as White was facing the pressure from the defense.
Yeah, I think that was our man again, number 14. I didn't get a good look at the roster ahead of time. Elder. I think Elder was the one that had the pursuit there that kind of forced him to pass it before he was ready.
And he's playing that, I don't know if it's the strong side or weak side linebacker, but he's in there playing linebacker. There's the punt. There's Scott taking it just outside the 30, across the 35, trying to find the sideline, and he gets there right at the 39-yard line. And so about a 10-yard return that time for the Colts. And here comes DeMylan Brown and the rest of the Rivercrest offense trying to keep the train rolling.
Yeah, could be a big possession here, mainly for the Truman defense. I think they need to come out and get a stop because Rivercrest has scored on their last 2 possessions. If they score again and go up either 18-7 or 22-7, you kind of get a little doubt going in your head if you're Truman.
Well, not just the last 2 possessions. They've scored
every time they've touched the ball. Yeah.
Here's Scott. Yeah, it's fine. Scott goes in motion. Here's Robinson with a run right up the middle, dropped right at the 50-yard line, which was the line to gain. Should move the chains for another Rivercrest first down as Kentavious Robinson continues to add up those rushing yards. And Marcus, I was going to say this earlier. We talked about this in the game we had with him earlier this year. This is a kid that we've got to see grow up and play over the last few years.
Absolutely.
And he has developed into one heck of a tailback for the Colts. Scott goes in motion. Brown, there's the pitch to Robinson. Robinson across the 50, trying to find that far sideline, and is bumped out at about the 45-yard line. I heard you say, and I saw it too.
Yeah.
DeMylan Brown took a lick.
He took a shot right as he pitched the ball. He took a pretty hard shot, but it didn't seem to faze him at all. It's one of those that probably looked a lot worse than it was.
Able to pick up about 5 yards on the ground was Kentavious Robinson. So now 2nd and 5 coming up. 4 wide receivers. There's the snap. Brown will fake the handoff. Little pitch out here to the wide open wide receiver Douglas Freeman, but threw it a bit too tall for him. That was a well drawn up play that could have gone for some big yards.
Yeah, that's a great play call right there. And he put just a little too much on that pass. You can see it here on the Ritter Communications replay. He's wide open here, and he sailed it on him just a little bit. I think his eyes got big because he saw all that green in front of his receiver.
Yeah, the nearest dude in front of him was about 8 yards out.
Yeah.
So now a 3rd and manageable coming up. 3rd and 5. Brown looking like he's going to have an empty backfield. 5 wide receivers. Sends Scott in motion. Fakes the handoff on the jet sweep. He's going to keep it himself. Juking and jiving, trying to find that far sideline, and he got pretty close to the line to game, but I don't know if he got there. It looks like he is going to be about a yard shy, maybe. Maybe a bit more than that. Maybe about 3 yards shy.
Yeah, doesn't look like he got as much as we first thought. The marker is right at the 40. So if you see here on the replay, let's see. Yep, he stepped out. If you look, he stepped out right there at about the, the 44?
Yeah, I think they'll give him that
right foot spot. They give him the 43.
Yeah, they'll give him the 43. So 4th and 2 coming up. Colts going to go for it right here at midfield. Robinson in the backfield. And Robinson gets the handoff. A big hit by the Wildcat defense, but Robinson able to keep his legs moving enough to get a first down. The chains will move. But, man, Truman's defense was coming at him that time.
They had him wrapped up and just couldn't, close the deal on the tackle, and he breaks free and he needed 2, and he got 3.
That was big Noah Milligan coming in there and laying that first hit. We've been seeing him run the football all night for the Wildcats. But, yeah, he just couldn't get his arms wrapped around Robinson. Robinson a little bit too quick. And here he is showing his quickness off once again across the 30-yard line down to what appears to be the 29, and once again very close to another first down.
Andy, Rivercrest has a long tradition of having guys with just superior quickness and that next gear speed, and we've seen both tonight. We saw the speed on the opening kickoff and the little quickness here on just the little short 1, 2, 3 yard gains.
Power formation, gonna throw it, play action.
Oh,
was that picked off?
I believe it was picked.
Picked off by the Truman defense, and that was Milton Lewis III. Well, he jumped that route perfectly and just picked it right out of the air.
See it here on the Ritter Communications replay. He reads the quarterback perfectly, steps right in front of the receiver, and makes a great play and controls the ball as he's falling. He barely had that in his forearm and bicep, and he was able to control it as he hit the ground.
That was a great catch because both of the players going for it at the same time. And that was quite a hit, quite a bump he took from the receiver. But you were right. He read the quarterback the whole way. He was going for the ball before it was ever released.
That was wow. That was a great play there. And how about, I just made the comment that Truman needed a big stop on that possession. They get it. We're coming up into the first quarter here, and let's see what Truman can do now.
Yep, still time to put some points on the board. Here's a run to the right side and knocked out about the 29-yard line. But a nice little pickup by Jay Taylor Morgan.
I think he got about 7 yards there and got out of bounds, so the clock will stop. You see the Ritter Communications replay here. He comes around, to the edge, and let's see. Yeah, he's going to get about 7 on that.
Well, they do got
They give
time
him
to set
6,
their
so
offense up, though. As you mentioned, it does stop the clock with 20 seconds left.
probably
Truman,
get one more play here.
and Truman only trailing by 8 here in the opening quarter. 2nd and 4 coming up. Pumped up after that big interception. There's Milton over there playing wide receiver on the far side, I believe. Handoff up the middle. Should be Milligan on the carry, and he's pushed backwards. No gain on that carry.
That should take us to the end of the first quarter here.
Should. The clock now ticking under 10 seconds left, and I believe that's what's going to happen. So 2 teams will flip ends of the field. We'll come back and do it one more time here in the first half. An exciting first half between Rivercrest and Truman. The Colts lead the Wildcats 15-7 after the first 12 minutes. We'll take a quick break, come back with the second quarter right after this on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
The Jonesboro Advertising and Promotion Commission welcomes you to the Downtown Jonesboro Barbecue and Music Festival. This year's festival kicks off Friday, September 28th with the 2nd annual SCA State Contest and live music from Fuel. Then Saturday, it's the 10th annual KCBS Sanctioned Barbecue Contest with $10,000 in cash prizes. Then Saturday night, Smash Mouth rocks the Ritter Communications stage. Hey now, it's the Downtown Jonesboro Barbecue and Music Festival, September 28th and 29th, presented by the Jonesboro A&P Commission.
Andy Maness and Marcus Carlton welcome you back to the second quarter here in Truman, where the Wildcats trail the Rivercrest Colts 15-7. But the Wildcats have the football right now, 3rd and 4, after a big interception from Milton Lewis III at the end of that first quarter, Marcus.
Yeah, that's you got the big interception there, and that kind of stops and steals the momentum away from Rivercrest. But you're facing a big 3rd down here. If you don't convert here, you give all that momentum right back.
And you look at their last 2 drives, they've both been 3 and outs.
Right.
So facing another 3 and out here, they need a first down conversion. Not just that, but just to move the ball a little bit further down the field, because both times they've had to punt it, they've been fairly well into their own territory. That first drive they had a 3 and out at. They started on their own 22. You look at their last drive, they had a 3 and out. They were on their own 34. Now here they are at their own 27. And that is not going to help them out any.
No, that's going to back it up a little bit. So now your 3rd and 4 becomes 3rd and 9, and it probably changes your outlook a little bit about what you're going to consider for play calling.
Yeah, no doubt about it. 3rd and 4, you can look at handing it off to that big tailback, Noah Milligan, let him run it right up the gut. Now you do have to think about what you're going to do with it here. MJ Barnes, the lone wide receiver, headed out to the far side. The top of your screen, you can't see him. He's standing on the far side, hash marks right at the 20.
You almost have to go to the air here.
That's what they're going to do. Play action, looking to throw. Ryan White
Oh,
steps up in the pocket,
fumble.
lost the football. Chance for a scoop and score. Can't get the score, but they get the scoop, and it's Kendarius Brooks who will have it for the Colts inside the 5-yard line.
I believe that was Garen Smithson that saved the touchdown there for Truman. But, yeah, what a way to respond by Rivercrest. You know, you get the penalty, you back them up to 3rd and 9, and now you're looking at a 1st and goal to start this second quarter, and you could easily take control of the game here if you punch one in.
They've definitely got the horsepower to do it, too. Here's DeMylan Brown. There's the snap. He's looking to run with it. Bounces to the outside. Finds the goal line. Touchdown, Rivercrest Colts. They have scored at the beginning of the first quarter and now at the beginning of the second quarter. And both times they scored, there's been 11:46 left on the clock.
Yeah, when you've got someone that's got the speed that Rivercrest has, you're not going to beat them to the edge. And he was able to get outside. You know, I think the play was originally drawn to go up the middle, and he had enough speed to where he could just adjust and move to the outside and get the easy 6.
Kick is up, and it is good from Riley Jones. So now the Rivercrest Colts out to a 22-7 lead here at the beginning of the second quarter. 11:46 left to play in the first half. We're taking a break. We're back with more here on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
Life doesn't always go as planned. So when a power surge affects your TV, or a breakfast mishap takes out your laptop, Guardware multi-device protection gives you peace of mind, knowing your devices will be repaired or replaced with just one call, and without breaking the bank. Protection you can trust. Guardware from Ritter. Enroll today to keep what matters most protected tomorrow.
Welcome back to Truman. Andy Manus and Marcus Carlton here with you in the second quarter. Rivercrest Colts capitalizing off of a fumble, then a 3-yard touchdown rush from Demylan Brown. Extra point would be good, and they lead this one 22-7. Colts have just blown this one wide open since that Truman drive to open the game for them. Ryan White will take it inside the 10. Now to the 20. Bounces it outside to the 30. A lot of running room down the far sideline across the 50. Can't outrun him. But a great setup for the Wildcats here to start the second quarter.
That's a great return by Truman, but you know, you've got to give some credit to the Rivercrest kicker there. He's the last man in line, and he makes a touchdown-saving tackle.
As you see him, he brings it right through traffic, bounces to the outside where there are no white jerseys.
Nobody there.
And then, yep, there it is. Riley Jones coming up with a tackle.
It's good for Truman to start on the Rivercrest side of the 50 after giving up, you know, the fumble and then the score after one play. If they could come back here and punch one in to make it 22-14, you know, we're back. They're back in the ball game, and we've got a different scenario on our hands.
Yeah, this is their best starting field position here of tonight. There's the handoff, running to the right, trying to cut upfield is Jay Taylor Morgan. He hops over one defender and is able to pick up about 3.5 yards on the carry. Now 2nd and 7 coming up.
Andy, I don't know if he maybe didn't have good security on the ball or what, but I thought he was going to stop and throw like a halfback pass there, because it looked like for just a second he was kind of moving the ball around a little bit.
Well, we've seen that kind of trickery there from the Colts. Haven't really seen that from the Wildcats so far, but I wouldn't put it past them, because they're, as you can see, if you've been watching this game, they are a run motion offense.
No doubt.
He spins, hands it off, running to the back, going to the left, and that's Cole Bingham with, I believe, his first carry of the ball game, and it's going to be for nothing.
Yeah, not much there. Rivercrest defensive line stayed at home on that one. They weren't fooled by all the motion and you know, stopped them for a loss. 3rd and 7 now for Truman.
White taking the time, getting the play from his coach over here. Play clock started. Also got MJ Barnes over here taking some coaching from Coach Green.
Play clock's down to 10. You got to wonder here if they're maybe trying to stall just a little bit to give their defense a little more of a breather before they have to come back out on the field. Because now we're down to 3.
And there's the snap, looking to throw. It's a fake screen, going to go on the go route. Picked off, picked right out of the air, and taken down at the 20-yard line. And who else would it be but Kentavious Robinson? No, I beg your pardon, Travis Smith. But hey, that's the second.
He's already had the kickoff.
Yeah, that's the second big play of the game for him.
Ritter Communications replay shows it here. A little trickery. Looks like almost like a little bump and go. He just steps in front of the receiver.
And I got to say, that's a great defensive effort by Travis Smith, because he bit on that play fake.
He did, but he was able to recover.
He bit on the pump fake, expecting the screen, and as Marcus said, was able to make up the ground to make that pick. Great interception by Smith, and now here come the Colts. Demylan Brown under center, sends Scott in motion. There's the pitch. Scott's going to bring it right up the field and right into a big scrum right at the 30-yard line. Truman just having a hard time getting out of their own way here in the first half after that opening drive.
Yeah, you got to wonder, you know, maybe they're pressing a little too hard. Maybe they are feeling a little pressure of being down 22-7 here in the first half and feel like they've got to make something happen. Sometimes that can work against you.
Here's Demylan Brown, turns around, he'll hand it off. Scott again on the carry.
Jeez. Man,
what? Taking everything to bring him down, and actually that's Kentavious Robinson. I guess that makes a little more sense why he's so tough to bring down.
Got a Truman player looks to be a little shaken up there. He's up now, but he was slow to get up. That's MJ Barnes.
And the thing about the Colts, if you're watching, they're not just getting blocks at the line of scrimmage. They're getting blocks from everybody out there on offense.
10 yards downfield, and you've still got receivers blocking.
Here's a wing tee, and now a cutback from Robinson. Robinson at the line of scrimmage. Look at those feet continuing to churn, just trying to get a couple extra yards there after the first contact. Great job, though, by the Wildcat defense. They wrapped him up, and even though he kept those legs churning, they were able to minimize the damage on that play.
Yeah, they stopped his forward progress enough to where the referee could blow it, but if you notice, he never went down.
Yep, he is just always got those feet a-churning. We got a big bowling ball in the backfield now, and DeKey Slayton. The handoff is going to go to Keyshawn Scott. Bounces to the outside 40. Tripped up at the 45-yard line. Great open field tackle that time by, I believe, Jordan Dye for the Wildcats. Just went straight for the knees and was able to bring down the runner.
Yeah, nice pursuit by the defense to minimize the damage there. Third down. If Truman can get off the field here, that's a win for the Truman defense.
There's a 3rd and short coming up for Rivercrest. 3rd and 2 to be exact. Truman looks like they're going to bring 4 down linemen with rushers on either side, but they've got all 11 guys in the box here. There goes the handoff. I think DeKey Slayton on the carry, and it is Slayton. Very near the line to gain. The referee on the near side has already signaled first down, so they will move the chains for a fresh set.
Yeah, he needed 2. He got 2.5 here. You can see it on the Ritter Communications replay. Just keeps his legs working. Truman's trying, but, he got a half a yard more than what he needed.
And that was a great little bounce to the outside right as he got to the line of scrimmage there. Here's a pitch to a new tailback for the Colts. He runs right up the gut. He's able to pick up about 5 yards. Boy, it doesn't really seem like it matters who's carrying the football for the Rivercrest Colts. They continue to just use the ground game to wear down this Truman defense as Alec Hinklin, the junior, on the carry that time.
I mean, I guess you've got 37 running backs on your depth chart there, and one gets tired, you run another one in.
Do they run the Oklahoma drill with literally every player on the team? Here's Hinklin again in motion, but the handoff goes to Scott running to the right across the 45, but not much further than that. Great job by the Truman defense that time, getting to the outside edge. That's the thing we noticed about Rivercrest is they just continue to wear you down with these little runs up the middle and to the outside, and then boom, all of a sudden Kentavious Robinson makes one man miss and he's gone.
And he's gone. Yeah, that's all it takes for someone like him.
3rd down coming up here. Play blown dead before it gets started. Flags come flying out. If
motion, I believe.
I was going to say if Truman's lucky, it'll be against the Colts and back them up.
False start.
Once again, have a chance to get the Colts off the field here. Take another look.
Yeah, I didn't see who jumped. I think it may have been a tackle that jumped, but I didn't get a real good look. Either way, it's 3rd and 9 now, and you've got another big opportunity for the Truman defense to shut down Rivercrest and get off the field here with 6.5 left in the half.
They're going to come out in the shotgun formation, 4 wide receivers with Robinson in the backfield. There's the option, a little jump pass out to Scott at the 50. Now he's at the 40. Drugged down from behind, just shy of the 25-yard line. Little Tim Tebow jump pass there to the flats, and it goes for a big gain.
We see he fakes the handoff, and why would you not bite on the handoff with the way they've been running the ball, and then just a little jump pass out to the flat, and there's nobody there because everybody bid on the fake handoff.
That's a creative quarterback option
no
play
doubt.
if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, that's a backyard Nerf football type play.
I
there.
mean, when the quarter, most of the time when you see we've been seeing the quarterback option all night long. DeMylan Brown gives it to Robinson, and then at the last second yanks it out and runs it himself, and that time just decides to throw it. He's looking to throw again here on 1st and 10. Scott catches it, but he pays the price. He is absolutely drilled from behind by MJ Barnes.
Yeah. Nice hit by Barnes, and in great concentration there by the receiver to hold on to the ball because he takes a shot right here. He's up in the air. He's not, his feet are not on the ground when he takes that shot, and he hangs on. Barnes laid the wood to him on that one.
Levitating scorpion it was.
Yeah.
He was all over the place.
I like that. Levitating scorpion.
That's what it was.
I'll have to remember that.
2nd and 7 now coming up. Power I formation. Hand off to Robinson. Cut back up the middle across the 20. And he is down at the 15-yard line.
Andy, that's what we were talking about there. He makes that first guy miss, and he's 8 yards up before the next guy has a chance to get to him.
That first cut is without a doubt
deadly.
the most dangerous cut.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's very reminiscent of AP, or I don't want to give him too much credit and say Barry Sanders, but I mean, he's not quite as low to the ground, I think, as Barry was. But here he goes again, making another cut. He's across the 10, pushed backwards, but they'll give him forward progress at the 10-yard line, and it'll be 2nd and 5 coming up.
I'll give you a little closer to home comparison that he reminds me of right now. Cecil Langston, former Rivercrest running back.
Absolutely.
That's who he reminds me
Number
of.
22.
Yes.
Cecil, I would say he's probably got about a good maybe 4 inches in height on Langston, if I remember right.
But the way he cuts and the way he moves at the line of scrimmage, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Langston.
Man, you go back to a couple of years ago, and this area was loaded with amazing tailbacks.
Doubt.
You had Cecil Langston, you had Carlos Blackman. There's a slip right about the 17-yard line. Brown trying to make a cut and just slips perhaps some perspiration out there on the turf.
Possibly. Could be some, we were forecasted to have rain tonight. I don't see any sprinkles or anything, and he may have just lost his footing, but King will get credit for the sack there, I do believe, because he's the first one to touch him. So either way, it's 3rd and long now for Rivercrest.
Well, we're hearing now that the field was pretty damp earlier, so it still could be holding on to some of that moisture.
Well, Northeast Arkansas in late September, humidity is like you can cut the air with a knife. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is a little moisture building up on the field.
3:40 left to play in the half. The play clock has ticked down to about 3, and it looks like the Colts want to call their first timeout of the first half. They have 2 remaining. Truman Wildcats have all 3 of theirs remaining, and they trail here in the second quarter, 7-22 in this first conference matchup of 2018. We're back with more of the second quarter right after this on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
How much bandwidth will satisfy your home's hunger? The average household now has more wireless devices in use a day than ever before, including TVs, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. HD streaming and gaming can use large amounts of data and slow down speeds for other users. The more devices you use, the more bandwidth your home needs. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get up to 100 megs with internet from Ritter Communications. It's the speed you need to power all your devices. Call today.
3:40 left to play here in the second quarter. 22-7 is your score. The Rivercrest Colts leading the Truman Wildcats, but the Colts threatening to score once again. They are in the red zone and have a chance to increase their lead here before the half. They just called their first timeout of the first half, so they have 2 remaining. The Wildcats still have all 2 of theirs. This will be the 11th play here on this drive for the Rivercrest Colts, and it's a big one. 3rd and 13 coming up. If the Wildcats can come up with a stop here, it'll be huge.
You hear the Truman crowd getting a little loud, making a little noise, trying to help their defense out.
3 seconds left on the play clock. Empty backfield now. Brown looking to throw, chased out of the pocket. Still looking downfield, fires towards the end zone. Looked like it was picked, but it went right through the arms of Connor McLean. Beg your pardon. That's going to be Gunnar Parks. Parks went down to the turf to try to scoop that one up, but I think it was just too low for him, went right through his bread basket.
Yeah, I think they're going to say that he trapped it, and that's why they're not giving him credit for the interception. But now it's 4th and 13.
Yeah, take another look here. See, DeMylan Brown does a great job keeping his eyes downfield, but watch number 6 here at the end.
Yeah, it
right
off
off his hands.
Right about the goal line, it bounced.
Yep.
It's back to live action. Here's the kick. I don't know that one's going to make it.
Had
no good.
Just enough distance, but pushed it a little bit too far to the outside, did Riley Jones. Jones hit one from 32 yards out earlier. That one would have been more in the vicinity of maybe 35, 36 yards.
18, so I've always been told you had 17 yards to where the line of scrimmage is, so that would have been a 35.
36.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Good
right on it.
Good eyeballing by me. So now 1st and 10 coming up for the Truman Wildcats. They've got 3:30 left to play here in the second quarter, and they have got all 3 of their timeouts.
Eddie just got another score in the 4A. Highland leads Westside 24-22 with about 5 minutes left in the second quarter. So a lot of offense in that one.
Here's the handoff running to the right. Drugged down by his shirt tail, but Morgan escapes. Running back the other way now. He won't get past those 3 Colt defenders. One defender held him up for far too long. Did a good job escaping, but couldn't find anywhere else to run with it. So it's a loss of about 7.
Yeah, you'll see here on the Ritter Communications replay, he's able to escape, and it looks like he might have something, but he reverses field and actually runs about 5 yards backwards, and by that time, the team speed of Rivercrest is just too much, and they collapse on him.
Yeah, we talked a lot about, players like Will Ryan White, Noah Milligan playing both ways. Same thing can be said for the Rivercrest Colts. They got a lot of guys out here who are playing both on offense and defense. White looking to throw, tipped by the defense, and
dangerous pass.
Riley Jones, the kicker, and also cornerback, had a chance to possibly get a pick 6 there, but that was a rocket fired from Will Ryan White. And just went right off the fingertips of the defender there. So now 3rd and very long coming up.
Yeah, 3rd and 17 here for Truman. You got to almost think about going into your bag of tricks here for something but you got to be careful, because when you're this deep in your own territory, the last thing you want to do is get a little too cute and throw an interception and give your opponent a short field.
Well, looks like they're gonna throw it. 3 wide receivers, 1 back in the backfield. White running to his right, looking to throw, just fires it as hard as he can down the field. It's
nice
caught
catch.
Inside the 45-yard line.
Gunner Parks again.
Gunner Parks had to go down to get it. Woo.
Well, there you go. They went deep enough into the bag of tricks there and just said, run underneath it. I'm going to throw it up, and you run underneath it, and it worked. That's a great catch.
Great catch, great throw. Travis Smith had a chance for another pick there, but just misjudged the ball. Boy, White just wound up and chucked it. Back in the shotgun, they're going to let him possibly throw it again. Sends a man in motion. It's Parks. Throw to the far side on a slant. Caught across the 50. A juke. Now at the 45. Still on his feet down the near sideline. Across the 40. Knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line. What a play by M.J. Barnes.
Man, we've called his name a couple times on defense tonight for hard hits, but wow, what a play there. You see it here on the Ritter Communications replay. It's just a little slant pattern. He cuts in almost about 5 yards, and, I don't want to call it poor tackling, but he just avoids the defense and turns it into a huge gain for another first down.
That was T.O.-esque. Only
that's
maybe not quite as physical.
Right.
T.O. probably would have taken a couple more hits. But I just remember T.O. used to catch those slant patterns all the time, and he'd just run people over.
Take a 5-yard gain and turn it into 15.
And that is exactly what M.J. Barnes did right there. Back in the shotgun formation, 1st and 10. Clock stopped at 2:05. Will Ryan White on the option is going to run it to the near sideline and just sprint out of bounds. Just shy of the 20. They're going to spot him the 20. More than enough to move the chains for a first down for Will Ryan White.
Yeah, I don't know what has happened on this possession that wasn't happening earlier, but it just seems like the Truman offense is not only are they executing better, but they seem to have a little more pep in their step and a little more confidence because they've moved the ball down the field here after that big play. You've had 2 big plays in a row that go for – actually 3 in a row go for first downs.
They're going to stick to the shotgun formation, and I think that's what it is that's working. 3 wide receiver set, White looking to throw. Into the flats, got a man at the 20, it's Parks. He's across the 15. He'll be slung down just before he steps out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. The clock will continue to run with 1:45 and counting here in the second quarter. Again, Truman still got all 3 of their timeouts, so they've got plenty of time left here in the first half. They just have to be careful with the football.
Well, and if you see, Parks was so open there because Barnes draws so much attention because he runs that same slant route, and both the defensive backs collapse on him, and it leaves Parks open in the flat. I think we got a timeout.
And I think we did.
Yep.
There's still plenty of time left on the play clock, but Truman –
Rivercrest. Rivercrest called the timeout.
Rivercrest wants to talk some things over. So they burned their second timeout of the first half. They still have one remaining. Again, Truman still has all three of theirs with 1:24 left to play in the half. We're going to step aside for a quick break. Come back with the end of this half right after this. Again, Rivercrest leading Truman 22-7 on Tubetown. Live local from Ritter Communications.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm home alone. Someone is trying to get in the back door.
Find a safe place like in a closet or under a bed, okay?
Okay.
Be very quiet and don't worry. Your home phone gave me your location.
Hurry.
Help is on the way.
Only a dedicated home phone can quickly pinpoint your address for emergency personnel. Cell phones can't. Keep your loved ones safe for less than 60 cents a day with a home phone from Ritter. Call today or go to rittercommunications.com.
Andy Maness and Marcus Carlton back here with you in Truman, where the Wildcats are threatening to score. They trail here to the Rivercrest Colts 22-7, but with 1:24, they've got it 2nd and 2 on the Rivercrest 13-yard line.
Yeah, Andy, right as we're getting ready to set back for play here, we've got a couple other scores. Pocahontas leads Brooklyn 18-0 in the 4A. Gave you the west side score. Highland still leads 24-22. And jumping up to 5A real quick, kind of a shocker. Blytheville leads Wynn. Where did that go? 12-0.
Oh, wow.
No, 18-0.
Well, 2nd and 2 here. A handoff going to go to Jay Taylor Morgan. He runs it right up the gut. Judging from the spot of the referee, they're going to give him forward progress close to the 20-yard line, which is the yard to gain. But it looks like it'll be 3rd and short. They'll actually spot him at the 11, it appears.
Yeah, he's short because the clock never stopped, and it would have stopped briefly on a first down.
Let's see what they do with it here if they want to give it to the big back Noah Milligan. Watch for a handoff for big number 34, but he's standing up there in the fullback position right now. It's going to be a pitch. Morgan spins. Barely able to hang onto that football. He's driven all the way back to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, that's a tough play right there for Truman. See it here on the Ritter Communications replay. You know, Rivercrest defense, everybody stays at home, and when you get to that edge, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders right there. Truman's going to call a timeout here to talk about 4th and 5.
Yeah, with 44 seconds left to play in the half, we'll go ahead and step aside for another timeout alongside with them. Truman still got 2 timeouts left here in the second quarter, trailing 22-7 on Tubetown. Live local from Ritter Communications.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
Back here in Truman, a 4th and 5 coming up for the Wildcats here at the end of the second quarter. 44 seconds remain. Wildcats just trying to put some more points on the scoreboard before they go in at halftime. They're going to get the ball back to start the third quarter, so it would be very advantageous for them to convert this 4th and 5. Here we go. Got to get down to the 10. It's the shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers. Looking to throw over the middle, too tall for the intended wide receiver. And the Wildcats are going to turn it over on downs. Jesse Pinter, the intended receiver there.
I like the play call there,
That's
Andy.
what I was just about to say. Not a bad play call, just couldn't deliver the football where it needed to be.
Yeah, he's open. The pass just kind of sailed on the quarterback a little bit, but the receiver was there. He was open, and you know I can't fault Truman at all for going for it right there. You've got the ball deep in your opponent's territory. You know, it's 4th down, but you give it back to them, and you know, let's see, are they out of timeouts? I think they got 1 timeout left with 41 seconds left, and you've got 85 yards to go. I'll make the same call there. If you get the score, then you go in touch to the halftime down 22-14, and you get the ball to start the third quarter. So I like the call. The play was there. It just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, just as you said, sailed on the quarterback. Rivercrest wants to actually burn their last timeout right here. So 41 seconds remaining. We'll just keep it right here. Again, 22-7 is the score. Rivercrest now with the football. They're going to come out with it on their own 15-yard line. You almost think that they would just come out and send it into the locker room, but you never know with the Rivercrest Colts. We've seen crazier things. I remember years back, a hook and ladder play somewhere near halftime, and the Colts were leading that game. So you never know what you're going to see pulled out of the playbook here at the end of the quarter, or at the end of the half, rather.
You know, as we saw on the collegiate level last weekend, you got to pay attention to detail and be ready for anything. You know, when you you know what play I'm referencing. I'm referencing the North Texas punt return. So you got to pay attention to detail and be ready for anything that could happen here with 41 seconds left.
Well, they're going to come out in the shotgun formation, looking like they want to try to make a play happen. Offensive line all spread out. There's the option. It's Brown going to keep it himself. Now he pitches it out to Robinson down the far sideline.
Oh, there you
go.
And
he is off to the races at the 50. Still
Goodbye.
on his feet, inbounds, touchdown, Rivercrest Colts. Just
there
like
you go.
that, one play is all you need if you're the Rivercrest Colts, and Kentavious Robinson is going to take it 85 yards for 6 points.
That late pitch helped to open up the hole for him here. You can see the quarterback decides to keep it here and pitches it late, and when he does, I mean, he turns on the jets, and nobody from Truman can keep up. I mean, you know, your safety there had a great angle, and he just didn't have the speed to keep up with him.
Yeah, and that's Will Ryan White, who's already been basically gassed.
No doubt.
Pulling
double duty.
Trying to make something happen on offense
Sure.
for the Wildcats, and then you task him with chasing down possibly the fastest person on the field. That's a tall task.
Another 16-second
ahead of
score.
anybody. Third time that's happened here tonight for the Rivercrest Colts. Hard to catch my breath after that. The extra point makes it 29-7. And take another look. If we could go back to the beginning of this replay, let's just go back to the beginning of it and pause it if that's possible, because I wanted to point out, look how spread out the entire offensive line is for the Rivercrest Colts. They're so spread out. The defense is so spread out. That one pitch, that late pitch, was all it took. We've already talked about if Kentavious Robinson makes one man miss, that's all it takes.
Mm-hmm.
Off to the races. With everybody on the opposite side of the field of him, they never had a chance.
Yeah, with the defense being so spread out like that, that will lead to bad angles. Through no fault of the defense, you're just spread out, and you end up taking a bad angle because it's the only angle you have. And when you've got, when you're trying to chase down somebody who's got the speed that Robinson has, it's a tough battle. I mean, you've definitely got a tall hill to climb.
So Truman still has 2 timeouts remaining with 25 seconds left. We'll see if Coach Green wants to try to make something happen before halftime with those 2 timeouts, or if he just wants to call it a half and take it to the locker room. I would judge by the body language by some of these guys on the sideline. They might just want to take it to half.
Yeah, I think that's what you do here.
Ball bounces inside the 20, picked up, trying to bounce it to the outside, looking for a little bit of running room is Morgan. Morgan now pushed backwards by the Colt defense, all the way down inside the 10-yard line, and I don't think there's any question about what you do with the football now.
Now I think you got to kneel on it here, get into the halftime, into your locker room, and regroup, because Rivercrest has every single ounce of the momentum right now.
Yeah, I see a lot of hands on hips, helmets hanging down by their waists. And I can't say that I'd feel any different.
Well, that's frustrating, because you're out there giving it everything you have, and, you've got a running back like Robinson that just, you're going full blast and he runs away from you. That's a frustrating feeling.
Absolutely. Will Ryan White comes out, take the snap. Well, he's going to throw it here to the near side for Milton. Milton will go out of bounds. Maybe just going to try to get any type of momentum that they can get, as once again they're going to come out on offense to start the third quarter. So maybe you don't want to come out cold.
Get a confidence play, throw a couple good passes, short routes, see if it turns into something. Barnes has already done that once, so anything can happen, as we just saw.
I would like to think here in the second half, I hope we see a little bit more of that shotgun formation from the Wildcats, because that was working for them in that last drive. They have not had a lot of success moving the ball down the field against this stout defense of the Colts. Now White looking to throw. Avoids one man in the backfield, trying to step up in the pocket. He's going to move past the line of scrimmage, but he will be dropped, and that should end the half. It will end, and the 2 teams will head to the locker room. 29-7, the score after the first 2 quarters. The Rivercrest Colts well in control of this one. We're going to talk some things over in the locker room. We're going to talk some things over up here at our broadcast position. We'll bring some analyzation of the first half for you, as well as some scores from around the area coming up next on your Ritter Communications halftime show.
Until you've seen how fast it really is, some people's reaction to Ritter's 100 megabit internet might be like, 100 mega, huh? Here's how we describe it. Mega beautiful, mega fast, mega blast, mega party, mega Ritter. There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. In a word, that means mega fun. If you're not getting your high-speed internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
For your smartphones, tablets, phablets. For the browsers you carry in your trousers. Wowzers! For your big screens and small screens, short screens and tall screens, get speed that screams. From the top of your desk to the palm of your hand, it's the fastest internet speed in the land.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. If you're not getting your internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Ritter Communications, right by you.
High-speed internet for every grown-up, grandparent, kid, teen, and in between. Ritter's got it. Every JPEG, MPEG, and GIF for the working mom or the working stiff, loaded in a GIF. Whether you're a blogger, gamer, or pixel tamer, don't be a slow-speed blamer. Don't waste your time waiting to load that page. Get Ritter high-speed internet. It's all the rage.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. Only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
You work here, you play here, you live here, and yet most of what you watch on television is about somewhere other than here. Until now, we proudly present Tubetown, TV about you. Tubetown is a Ritter Communications exclusive network featuring local sports, community events, unique and original programming from our community. Tubetown takes what's best about television, what's best about the community, and brings them together. Tubetown, only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
Technology was supposed to make our lives easier. No one told us about the plethora of glitches, viruses, hackers, hundreds of passwords to remember, and getting all our tech to sync up. Introducing Tech Home. Technology made easy for you and your devices. Tech Home makes it easy to set up, protect, and enjoy your internet-connected devices anytime, anywhere. Security, password management, backup, and premium tech support. Get back in charge of your digital life now with Tech Home.
Satellite TV providers force you to sign a long-term contract, then saddle you with second-rate service and price increases. Ritter delivers TV service with stunning HD channels, plus bundle savings on the area's fastest internet, and a better home phone service with no long-term contracts, backed by our local customer care team. No contracts, no nonsense, just great service. Don't get stuck with a dish. Visit RitterCommunications.com to learn more.
It begins with a click. And no matter where you are, you have countless choices at your fingertips. On the road, on your break, even in your own backyard. A world of entertainment is just a click away. Simply go to RitterCommunications.com/TV Everywhere to get started. Ritter Communications, connecting you to everything that matters.
With so many great mega services available from Ritter Communications, it's hard to pick just one. Save a bundle with bundled services. Talk as much as you want, when you want, with unlimited long distance. Get the speed you need with up to 15, 30, 50, and even 100 megabits per second internet. Enjoy online bill pay and protect all your online data and devices with Tech Home and Guardware. With so many choices, options, and savings from Ritter, all you can say is, wow! Mega services, mega savings. That's Mega Ritter.
Andy Maness and Marcus Carlton welcome you back to Truman at half, where the Truman Wildcats are trailing to the Rivercrest Colts by a score of 29-7. And literally, since the beginning of the football game, it has belonged to the Rivercrest Colts. Looked like it might have swung in favor of the Truman Wildcats for about a split second, but when you take back the opening kickoff of the night for a touchdown, things look like they might start going your way, and they have for the Rivercrest Colts so far tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, they get the big kickoff, but Truman comes back and counter punches, comes back and takes a 7-6 lead, and they've shown a few sparks here and there when they went to the shotgun and the 4 and 5 wide offensive set. You know, they were able to move the ball. They just weren't able to punch it into the end zone. I believe it was a 4th down play that failed. Pass just kind of sailed a little bit above. Looked like a guy running almost like a little drag route across the middle. He was there. He was open, but the pass sailed on the quarterback a little bit. And it's almost like that kind of let the air out of their sails, and Rivercrest certainly took advantage of it. You know, march right down the field, get a score. You know, Rivercrest had one where they had a very short field inside the 10-yard line off of a Truman fumble. And, you know, DeMylan Brown goes in on a quarterback keeper one play after the fumble. You know, I think the fumble was recovered at the 3 or the 4-yard line. You know, you've got somebody like Brown back there. You can run a quarterback keeper, and, you know, it was designed to go up the middle, and he decided, no, I'm going to go outside. And he got to the corner before the defense did. And from that point forward, it just seems like that all the momentum is with Rivercrest.
Other than the opening kickoff, twice in the second quarter, they were able to score in one play. You go back to the beginning of the second quarter, they started with the ball on the Truman 3-yard line because of the Wildcat fumble. DeMylan Brown is able to punch that in from 3 yards out. And then you go back to the very end of the quarter with the amazing run there from Kentavious Robinson. He's able to take it 85 yards in about 16 seconds or so, give or take.
I think they've had, 2 or 3 scores tonight that took about 14 to 16 seconds off the clock because the opening kick took either 14 or 16, and then the big 85-yard run right before the half. You know, you're covering 85 yards in 16 seconds. That's moving. I mean, you're holding down the turbo button on that one.
Kentavious Robinson is part gazelle. I'm fairly certain because we've talked about it through the first 2 quarters. If he makes one man miss, he's gone, and his strides are long enough to just outrun everybody out there on the football field. So it has been a fun half if you're a Rivercrest Colt fan.
Right.
For the Truman Wildcats, just not so much of a fun half. You and I were talking, it seemed like they were having a lot of success on not the drive, obviously, there to end the quarter, but with about 3:27 left to play in the second quarter, they took it over and had a nice 8-play drive going on. They took it all the way down to the Rivercrest Colt 15-yard line, and ended up having a turnover on downs. You know, that's very frustrating, not being able to convert that, having a drive that lasts that long, not being able to get it in the end zone for any points. But you got to look at what worked on that drive, and in my opinion, it was a shotgun formation. That's what you and I were talking about.
Well, that's where their success started because they had the big 3rd down conversion. I want to say it was like 3rd and 17, and they got about a 24, 25-yard gain. I believe it was to Barnes. You know, the quarterback just basically, I remember you saying that he just winds up and throws it as far as he can throw it, and I believe it was Barnes that ran underneath it.
I think it was Gunnar Parks.
That's right, Gunnar Parks, because Brown had Barnes had the little slant route that looked like Julio Jones, and he turned 5 into 15. But, you know, that 3rd down conversion, and then they were getting chunks because they had 3 or 4 plays in a row that went for a 1st down, and it was like the offense just kind of stalled once they got inside the red zone. You know, Rivercrest flipped the switch on defense and just said, okay, enough.
Yeah, they were able to put the brakes on that Wildcat drive pretty immediately once they got down inside the red zone. All night long, Truman has been running that, I guess you call it the wing T offense.
Right.
And Rivercrest has been sticking 10, 11 guys in the box, and it's been working for them. And so I would like to see the Wildcats come out and run a little bit more of that shotgun formation and spread the Rivercrest defense out a little bit more, because when they're coming up against 10, 11 guys in the box like they have in the first half, they just haven't had much success outside of that opening drive of the game for them.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if Coach Green and the Wildcats come out and use more of that shotgun formation with 4 and 5 wide receivers, because when you're facing a defense that's a little stronger and a little bigger and a little quicker than you are, you got to try to spread them out and play the gaps. And try to get like the little slant route with Barnes to where you can get a man like that in space and just let him create.
Yeah, I think we've seen through the first 2 quarters, you're not going to come in here, you're not going to play at home and even defend against these big guys from Rivercrest. The guys on the offensive line and the defensive line for the Colts have just through the first 2 quarters, they have shown themselves to be the stronger of the two teams.
Well, let's not forget, yes, Rivercrest moved up in classification this year, but they are the defending 3A state champs.
Oh, absolutely. And you talk about the Wildcats. Look at what they lost last year.
Absolutely.
In their all-star running back in Cade Gartman. I mean, you take that element out of the offense,
right,
and it's going to mess with any team.
Absolutely. You have someone that could, basically, get you a first down or a score almost on demand in Cade Gartman. He graduates, moves on, and those are big shoes to fill.
With that, I mean, we've been talking about Kentavious Robinson all night. That is what Cade Gartman was
Absolutely.
for this Truman Wildcat team last year and over the last 2 years.
Yeah, and it was one of those situations to where if you were an opponent of Truman, you knew it was coming, and sometimes you still couldn't stop it.
Still couldn't do anything about it, and that's kind of what we've seen a little bit of here tonight. Truman facing off against this Rivercrest offense. Still about 9.5 minutes left here in the halftime break. Obviously, neither team has come out of the locker room yet to go over their second half stretching, but we are going to take another quick break ourselves and get ready for the third quarter. When we come back, we're going to give you some scores from around the area and talk about some of the other games of importance. Again, this is the first week in conference play here in Northeast Arkansas, so we'll talk to you about all the games that are going on right now tonight. So stepping aside, we'll be back with more of the halftime show right after this. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
You live. We put you first. Introducing You First Banking, only at First National Bank.
You've got a lot of choices when you buy home furnishings. There are many reasons to choose Hubbard & Hope Furniture, Blytheville and Osceola.
At Hubbard & Hope, you'll find a great selection of furniture, appliances, bedding, and electronics with outstanding service, 6 ways to finance your purchase, and free local delivery.
Plus, you'll get a great deal every day on name brands you know and trust.
Great deals, outstanding service, and free delivery. You're going to love
Hubbard & Hope Furniture, Blytheville and Osceola.
The Jonesboro Advertising and Promotion Commission welcomes you to the Downtown Jonesboro Barbecue and Music Festival. This year's festival kicks off Friday, September 28th with the 2nd annual SCA State Contest and live music from Fuel. Then Saturday, it's the 10th annual KCBS Sanctioned Barbecue Contest with $10,000 in cash prizes. Then Saturday night, Smash Mouth rocks the Ritter Communications stage. Hey now, you're an all-star. It's the Downtown Jonesboro Barbecue and Music Festival, September 28th and 29th, presented by the Jonesboro A&P Commission.
Life doesn't always go as planned. So when a power surge affects your TV, or a breakfast mishap takes out your laptop, Guardware multi-device protection gives you peace of mind, knowing your devices will be repaired or replaced with just one call, and without breaking the bank. Protection you can trust. Guardware from Ritter. Enroll today to keep what matters most protected tomorrow.
How much bandwidth will satisfy your home's hunger? The average household now has more wireless devices in use a day than ever before, including TVs, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. HD streaming and gaming can use large amounts of data and slow down speeds for other users. The more devices you use, the more bandwidth your home needs. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get up to 100 megs with internet from Ritter Communications. It's the speed you need to power all your devices. Call today.
No matter what kind of business you own or operate, you need to keep it connected. Ritter Communications delivers the fastest business internet speeds available at a price that won't slow you down. Ritter offers reliable 24-hour service with network monitoring, along with the scalable options your business needs to grow. And we do it all on our own fiber optic network. The choice is yours, and so is the savings. Connect to something better. Call or visit ritterbusiness.com today.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm home alone. Someone is trying to get in the back door.
Find a safe place like in a closet or under a bed, okay?
Okay.
Be very quiet and don't worry. Your home phone gave me your location.
Hurry.
Help is on the way.
Only a dedicated home phone can quickly pinpoint your address for emergency personnel. Cell phones can't. Keep your loved ones safe for less than 60 cents a day with a home phone from Ritter. Call today or go to rittercommunications.com.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
Until you've seen how fast it really is, some people's reaction to Ritter's 100 megabit internet might be like, 100 mega, huh? Here's how we describe it. Mega beautiful, mega fast, mega blast, mega party, mega Ritter. There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. In a word, that means mega fun. If you're not getting your high-speed internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
For your smartphones, tablets, phablets. For the browsers you carry in your trousers. Wowzers! For your big screens and small screens, short screens and tall screens, get speed that screams. From the top of your desk to the palm of your hand, it's the fastest internet speed in the land.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. If you're not getting your internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Ritter Communications, right by you.
High-speed internet for every grown-up, grandparent, kid, teen, and in between. Ritter's got it. Every JPEG, MPEG, and GIF for the working mom or the working stiff, loaded in a GIF. Whether you're a blogger, gamer, or pixel tamer, don't be a slow-speed blamer. Don't waste your time waiting to load that page. Get Ritter high-speed internet. It's all the rage.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. Only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
You work here, you play here, you live here, and yet most of what you watch on television is about somewhere other than here. Until now, we proudly present Tubetown, TV about you. Tubetown is a Ritter Communications exclusive network featuring local sports, community events, unique and original programming from our community. Tubetown takes what's best about television, what's best about the community, and brings them together. Tubetown, only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
Technology was supposed to make our lives easier. No one told us about the plethora of glitches, viruses, hackers, hundreds of passwords to remember, and getting all our tech to sync up. Introducing Tech Home. Technology made easy for you and your devices. Tech Home makes it easy to set up, protect, and enjoy your internet-connected devices anytime, anywhere. Security, password management, backup, and premium tech support. Get back in charge of your digital life now with Tech Home.
Satellite TV providers force you to sign a long-term contract, then saddle you with second-rate service and price increases. Ritter delivers TV service with stunning HD channels, plus bundle savings on the area's fastest internet, and a better home phone service with no long-term contracts, backed by our local customer care team. No contracts, no nonsense, just great service. Don't get stuck with a dish. Visit rittercommunications.com to learn more.
It begins with a click. And no matter where you are, you have countless choices at your fingertips. On the road, on your break, even in your own backyard. A world of entertainment is just a click away. Simply go to rittercommunications.com/TV everywhere to get started. Ritter Communications, connecting you to everything that matters.
With so many great mega services available from Ritter Communications, it's hard to pick just one. Save a bundle with bundled services. Talk as much as you want, when you want, with unlimited long distance. Get the speed you need with up to 15, 30, 50, and even 100 megabits per second internet. Enjoy online bill pay and protect all your online data and devices with Tech Home and Guardware. With so many choices, options, and savings from Ritter, all you can say is, wow! Mega services, mega savings. That's Mega Ritter.
Welcome you back to halftime here at Truman, where the Truman Wildcats trail the Rivercrest Colts at halftime 29-7. Andy Manus and Marcus Carlton back here with you, getting you set for the third quarter of action between these two 4A3 conference opponents. Before we get back to action, though, here at RMC Stadium, got some scores we want to pass along to you from around the area. We'll start with the 3A, looking over at Osceola and Hoxie. Osceola leading Hoxie at the half, 27-14. Moving up to 4A, Cave City and Gosnell. The Pirates beating down on Cave City 40-0 at halftime. Definitely going to be some turbo clock action going on there in the second half. Meanwhile, at halftime between Highland and Westside, the Rebels lead the Warriors 24-22. Moving up to the 5A East, Nettleton and Batesville. Marcus, you said it, a little bit of a baseball game going on between Nettleton and Batesville. 5-3 the score at halftime there. That's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, that's not a score you see often on any level of football, much less high school.
Greene County Tech right now facing off against the Forest City Mustangs. They are losing badly at halftime, 42-6. West Memphis and Marion in a close one at halftime. West Memphis with a 1-point lead over the Patriots, 15-14. Piggott and Manila in action tonight. They're at halftime as well. Piggott leading Manila 44-7, and a close one between the Walnut Ridge Bobcats and the Newport Greyhounds, all knotted up at 14 at the half.
Couple of more scores here, sticking in, I believe this is 5A. Blyville leads Wynn at halftime. I don't believe you had that one. Blyville 18, Wynn 7 at halftime. Of course, you went over the Batesville Nettleton. Jonesboro leads Mountain Home 28-0 at halftime, so you could be looking at a turbo clock there. And I'm going to step out of our region for a minute just because we don't have any 7A teams in this area, but if you look around the state, Cabot and Little Rock Catholic are tied at 7 at halftime. Now, you may be asking, okay, why do we care about that? Mike Melham has been at Cabot for 30-plus years, and he's looking to get win number 300 tonight. If he gets win 300, I believe the only coach that will be ahead of him will be Frank McClellan that coached at, I believe he was at Barton. Is that right?
Yes, the Bears. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Frank McClellan has like 335 career wins, and I believe if Mike Melham gets his 300th, he will be the only other coach in Arkansas history with over 300 wins.
That's quite a feat. And I mean, really at any level, that's quite a feat. But obviously been doing this quite a long time.
I mean, if he's been there exactly 30 years, I mean, the simple math is he's averaging 10 wins a season.
10 wins a year.
I mean,
I'd say any school would be happy about that.
That's consistency right there.
Both teams, both teams back out onto the field, and they're going through their warm-ups and stretches, getting ready for the third quarter. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, one more quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the third quarter kickoff for you here between Truman and Rivercrest. The Rivercrest Colts leading Truman after the first two quarters, 29-7. Coming back with the third quarter of action right after this. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
You live. We put you first. Introducing You First Banking, only at First National Bank.
You've got a lot of choices when you buy home furnishings. There are many reasons to choose Hubbard & Hope Furniture, Blyville and Osceola.
At Hubbard & Hope, you'll find a great selection of furniture, appliances, bedding, and electronics with outstanding service, 6 ways to finance your purchase, and free local delivery.
Plus, you'll get a great deal every day on name brands you know and trust.
Great deals, outstanding service, and free delivery. You're going to love
Hubbard & Hope Furniture, Blyville and Osceola.
The Jonesboro Advertising and Promotion Commission welcomes you to the Downtown Jonesboro Barbecue and Music Festival. This year's festival kicks off Friday, September 28th with the second annual SCA State Contest and live music from Fuel. Then Saturday, it's the 10th annual KCBS Sanctioned Barbecue Contest with $10,000 in cash prizes. Then Saturday night, Smash Mouth rocks the Ritter Communications stage. Hey now, you're an all-star. It's the Downtown Jonesboro Barbecue and Music Festival, September 28th and 29th, presented by the Jonesboro A&P Commission.
Welcome you back to Truman here for the third quarter between the Rivercrest Colts and the Truman Wildcats. There's the kickoff to start the third quarter, taken inside the 20. Bounce to the outside hash marks at the 26, maybe the 28. And that's Will Ryan White, quarterback, on the return. Now he's going to head to the sideline and get the play. And he will come back out and try to lead this Wildcat offense down the field for their first touchdown since the first quarter. Since that touchdown in the first quarter, Marcus Carlton, Andy Manus here with you, they have allowed 26 unanswered points from Rivercrest Colts.
Big drive for Truman here. You need to get something, confidence builders on your first couple plays and maybe get some momentum and try to put one into the end zone to cut into this Rivercrest lead.
They're going to come out on their own 29-yard line again for 1st and 10 to open up the third quarter, and back in that wing T formation, and here come the Colts creeping up, all 11 men in the box. Here's a handoff to start the third quarter for Jay Taylor Morgan. He will rumble forward about 3.5, maybe 4 yards, and it should be 2nd and 6 coming up. When we saw them have a moderate amount of success with these types of plays throughout the first half, but for the most part, the Colts were just able to shut them down.
Well, and I think one thing you may have to watch for here by being back in that wing T, you know, you can pass out of the wing T. It's just, it has to be the right situation, and a lot of times you have to wait and see if you have someone that is able to sneak behind the defense, but usually if they get back there, there's nobody between them and the end zone.
MJ Barnes lined up on the far side. They're going to hand it off again to Morgan. Morgan able to keep his footing and work his way down to about the 44-yard line. Oh, actually, that was Will Ryan White keeping it himself.
That's a first down.
He's coming
kind of hobbling off the field a little bit.
Once again, we talked about it all night long, and he's reaching down for his left knee right now, and he just waved him off. They said he kind of said, "I'm okay." That was the motion that he gave.
See if we can see anything on the replay here. I couldn't see anything specific on his knee, but he could have easily taken a kneecap to kneecap hit.
Or just stepped wrong because you saw him kind of stumble there and just trying to regain his footing might have planted that knee a little hard there. Here's a handoff running to the right for Morgan. Morgan now trying to cut it back, and he's going to be pushed backwards, and he will pick up a yard, but it'll be 2nd and 9 coming up after that first down run from Will Ryan White. White's coming over. He's still grabbing at that left leg, but he's telling him he's all right.
Yeah, he could have easily taken a kneecap to his thigh right above his knee. I call it a dead leg because that's what it does to your leg. It just feels like it's not there and you can't stand on it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not a fun feeling to have. Had that happen quite a bit. Under 10 minutes left to play here in the third quarter, so 2 minutes gone by, and they're sticking to this wing T formation. There's the handoff to Noah Milligan. Milligan is met immediately. I think I saw Logan Gray, one of the defensive tackles for the Colts, get in there, and
that's a no gain.
Big 50 came up with a big hit there.
Yeah. Again, Rivercrest stacking the box because it's like they know exactly what's coming with this wing T, and when you've got that many guys up front, it's hard to make a hole.
Looks like they're going to come out in the shotgun formation now. They've got their personnel out there. MJ Barnes is out there as well as Jax Williams. So we'll see if they want to do. Nope, not the shotgun, but it is a 2 wide receiver set. Milligan is in the backfield. Looking to throw. Sacked immediately. Lost
Ball
the
comes
football.
out. No, they're saying he was down.
I'm going to say he is down indeed, but it's Jackson Stovall who immediately got the hit on Will Ryan White. Watch number 11 just go right by the defensive line, untouched, and wrapped up White for the sack. And I'm not entirely sure that White was down before he fumbled that football, but my goodness, he paid the price.
Yeah, I think you had a missed assignment there is what led to him being so, having the clear path to the quarterback.
Yeah, and he's going to come over here, and they're going to take a look at that knee right now. He's sitting down, and he didn't seem to be in any sort of pain, but maybe a little bit of discomfort as Robinson is going to take this, Travis Smith, rather, is going to return this punt out to about the 38-yard line.
Yeah, well, he's going back into the game now. They checked him out real quick, and now he's going to go back in for his second part of his double duty of playing safety on defense.
It's a one-play breather.
That's a tough kid right there, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kudos to him.
Yeah, I give credit to all of these kids that are out here playing both ways, because, I mean, it's hard enough to keep your fatigue level from going down when you're playing one way. They're out here playing the defending 3A state champions. Here's DeMylan Brown with the stiff arm, trying to find some room over there on the outside edge. Pushed out on the far sideline at about the line of scrimmage. This is roughly the 38-yard line. I think it was a run for no gain. And from their own 38-yard line, and that does stop the clock also at 8:14. Both teams, even though Rivercrest obviously had the advantage on the scoreboard in the first half, both teams ran a very even number of plays. I had Rivercrest at 31 plays in the first half, Truman at 30 plays in the first half.
Good pursuit by the Truman defense there to stop Robinson. That's one of the few times they've been able to get him right at the line of scrimmage tonight.
Take another look at our glitchy replay here. Or maybe not. Or maybe we will. That's from earlier. Disregard that. 7:50 remaining here in the third quarter. 3rd and long coming up here for the Colts. This would be a big stop for the Wildcat defense if they can get the Colts off the field. DeMylan Brown's got 4 wide receivers. Robinson is to his right, looking for the pitch. Brown's going to keep it himself, slung forward. Nice tackle there by the Truman Wildcat defense. Trying to get a couple of names. It looked like J. Taylor Morgan was in on that tackle, but I think Jonah Haney was the one to sling down DeMylan Brown. Take a look at number 42, Chase Brown, down here at the end of this play. There's 42. There's Morgan. Well, a couple plays ago. 4th and 7 now coming up. Quarterback Will Ryan White back there to return this punt from the Colts. Good snap.
Good kick.
Great kick. Spiraling. It'll bounce just inside the 30. It'll be fielded by White at the 20. Oh, and he slipped up a little bit.
He's not right, because you can tell when he tried to plant that left leg that he had a little trouble there.
Yeah, so he's brought down right at the 25-yard line, and you can still see him walking just a little bit gingerly there on that left leg. It's that left knee that they were looking at, and he's waving everybody off. He says, I'm good, man. I'm good.
He wants to play.
Is a soldier.
Yeah. Admire the heart, but it may be time to say, hey, just come sit down for a minute. Let's take a look, because you could tell when he went to plant that left leg and cut back, and it didn't operate like it should.
Yeah, he had to check up on it. There's no doubt. He had to check up on it.
Kudos to him, man. He's got the heart, though. He's got the heart and the grit, because he's just, he's sucking it up, and he's back out there at quarterback again.
Also, kudos to that Truman defense. I think that's the first time the Colts have had to punt here tonight's football game. Already nearly halfway through the third quarter. And on 1st and 10, J. Taylor Morgan will pick up about 3 yards on that rush.
Yeah, if Truman could go down here and punch one in to get this back to a 2-score game, that changes things a bit. Yeah, Rivercrest may change their outlook a little bit when they get the ball back, because it does put a little bit of pressure on them.
Looks like they're going to stick to this wing T formation as Barnes is out here on the near side, lined up at wide receiver, the sole man in this formation. Noah Milligan once again is in the backfield. Ball spotted on the near side hash marks. They're looking to throw. There's the pump fake. There's the streak route. Way too high and out of bounds. And again, the intended receiver was M.J. Barnes. Saw him run that play earlier and nearly had some success with it. Just a pump fake on the screen here on the near side and try to get your receiver to run the go route. I guess you call that a stop and go. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that's what the play was there. But, you kind of got to go back to White's left knee and how does that also affect his passing, because when he drops back, that's it. He's not planning on that leg, but that's his step.
That's a step foot.
Yeah, and he can't get a good clean step, then that's going to affect the accuracy of his throw.
Here's the shotgun formation, so they're possibly going to be looking to throw again. He's going to roll to his left, try to throw across his body, fires one down at the 40-yard line. What a throw, what a catch. That's Cole Bingham on the reception. That'll move the chains for a first down. Take a look at this replay.
Man, he just steps up and fires a laser.
Across his body.
Across his body. Whew, on the run. I mean, that wow.
Knee was not bothering him too much on that play.
Hey, if that's what happens when your knees hurt my knee all day, you know.
5:38 left to play here in the third quarter. It's like that Aaron Rodgers game a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, no doubt.
Did you notice he developed a southern accent after the game? That was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
2 wide receivers here for Will Ryan White. Going to throw on a slant pattern. It's Barnes who catches it just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pitch and catch for about 4 yards. They'll give him 5, and it'll be 2nd and 5 coming up. And
nice
I would run a lot more of that.
Yeah, it's especially if they're not going to put press coverage on him and they're going to give him that cushion, take advantage of it.
Yeah, the defender was a good 7-8 yards off of the wide receiver. Jax Williams is going to come out at wide receiver, lined up here on the near side, so Barnes will go over to the far side. Ball spotted at the Truman
cushion,
45.
Look at the cushion Barnes has. He's got a good 5 to 6 yards there.
Well, and you saw the defensive back, too. He was playing that slant pattern. He was ready to run it.
Yeah, Barnes stepped back almost like he was going to take a wide receiver screen, but had he gone with the slant route, the defense was ready.
And that was Travis Smith there playing corner on Barnes, and again, he was in position for it.
Big third down here for Truman. They need to convert this and keep moving the ball down the field because the clock keeps running. We're closing in on 4 minutes left here in the third.
Got to get to the 50-yard line. Ball spotted on the near side hash marks. Can the Wildcats convert here on third down? Williams is going to go out wide on the far side. Now Barnes is going to switch and head over there with him on the far side. So 2 lined up to the left. And it's going to be White running to his right. He's got the first down and more, but he took a hit to that left knee. He gets up unscathed, it appears. Going to get a little bit of hydration here on the near sideline. Fixes shoulder pads as they move the chains. 1st and 10 coming up for the Wildcats. That's a gutsy run.
That's a great play call right there. And he gets just enough, but, you know, luckily the hit looks like it maybe went on his thigh and hip more than his knee, but that's a great play again by White. You know, you're expecting maybe the little hitch pass over to Barnes, and it's just a quarterback keeper bootleg, and he gets the first down and keeps the offense rolling.
Well, not just any bootleg. That was a completely naked bootleg. Had nobody out in front of it.
Completely naked, yes.
1st and 10 now from midfield. There's the pitch. Trying to make his way upfield. Oh, my goodness. Woo. Cole Bingham slammed down to the tee right at midfield. A couple of Colt defenders absolutely laying the lumber here. Take another look. We'll see if we can figure out who that is on that tackle there. Easton Elder, one of the defenders in, already called his name once tonight. Couldn't tell who the other Colt was. But my goodness, they got their money's worth on Bingham that time. Bingham comes over to the sideline. He's a bit shaken up, got his helmet off, but he's walking fine, but I would imagine that did not feel too good.
That looked like an old school spine buster.
Good gracious. So 2nd and 10 coming up. Little misdirection play here. Hand off to Jay Taylor Morgan from Gunner Parks, who got it from White. Pick up for about 2, so 3rd and 8 coming up.
There you see Bingham got his bell rung pretty good there. They're checking him out, make sure he's okay. Probably see him back in pretty quick. He popped up fairly quick after taking that shot, but that was a hard shot. Probably knocked the breath out of him a little bit and just let him gather his senses a little before they put him back in.
He got body slammed by 2 dudes on the other team. I imagine he probably did get the breath knocked out of him. Under 2:50 left to play now in the third quarter. Wildcats got to convert here on third down, trying to keep the momentum going here. 3 wide receivers. White flushed out of the pocket, looking to throw, fires one down the near sideline, caught. Barnes makes the catch. What a throw from Will Ryan White. That kid has got a cannon.
Man, Will Ryan White, look here on the Ritter Communications replay, looking like Baker Mayfield last night. He avoids the rush and then fires a dart out here to Barnes.
How did he turn his body to get the throw off? He had to completely change directions he was facing to get that ball thrown.
That's an impressive throw right there. I mean, and I mean, and it was on a rope. That's a big conversion for Truman there to keep the ball and keep the Rivercrest offense off the field.
Yeah, 3rd and long, and they could be wearing down that defense because, again, a lot of these guys are playing both ways as well.
Had a little play clock, and play clock just got reset, and Truman was already up to the line.
Oh, here's a run right up the gut. Lost the football, but he was already down. Trying to see who that was on the carry. It was number 19. I heard Jesse
I think we have a 19 on the roster.
I believe we do. I think I heard Jesse Winter, but I'm not sure.
He got 6 yards no matter what.
Hey, Jesse Pinner. That's a 10, not a 19.
Oh,
sure
that's
looked
10.
like a 19
That
to
did.
me,
That
too.
looked like 19.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one that thought it was a 9. Jesse Pinner on the carry. He'll pick up 6 yards.
Yeah, good carry for Pinner there.
2nd and 4 now coming up. Takes the handoff to the right, and it's going to be Parks running to the left. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, but actually might have lost about a half yard there, so now they're going to have to convert on 3rd down one more time.
You know, Andy, I'm looking here at the Rivercrest defense. You're seeing a few hands on hips here and, you know, a little bit of heavy breathing. I mean, Truman, you know, this has been quite the drive here.
Yeah, this will be the 10th
play of the drive.
Coming up. Saw Cole Bingham put his helmet back on. He's
there you go.
Over here back near the rest of the group. Hasn't quite made his way back in yet.
He gets up there in the group. He's probably just trying to get the attention of the coach. Be like, hey, coach, I'm good.
3rd and 5 coming up. 2 wide receivers looking to throw. Toss it out to the 25. Caught by Parks. He pushes it up to the 20 before he's knocked out of bounds. They'll spot him at about the 22. And another gutsy play here from Will Ryan White.
Again, avoids the rush. You know, little soft toss out to Parks, and Parks converts.
Well, and this, you know, wing T rushing offense they've been running all game could be starting to pay off finally because they've got the Colts peeking inside, I feel like, on every play, and they're kind of mixing it up a little bit more now.
Yeah, it's become a little more unpredictable now that you've had some success throwing the ball from that wing T set.
You got Barnes lined up on the far side. Again, the defensive back is guarding against that slant pattern, trying to see if they're in man defense or not. They send a man in motion, and now they're going to blow the play dead and a timeout for the Wildcats. Yep. Could have been a penalty really on either team there as we had some motion, but it looks like they were just trying to see what coverage the Colts were in and didn't like it, so they're going to burn their first timeout of the second half. We're going to take a quick timeout with them. 1 minute remaining in the third quarter. The score is 29-7. Rivercrest leading Truman here on Tubetown. Live local from Ritter Communications.
Life doesn't always go as planned. So when a power surge affects your TV, or a breakfast mishap takes out your laptop, Guardware multi-device protection gives you peace of mind, knowing your devices will be repaired or replaced with just one call, and without breaking the bank. Protection you can trust. Guardware from Ritter. Enroll today to keep what matters most protected tomorrow.
Andy Maness and Marcus Carlton welcome you back to Truman with 1 minute remaining in the third quarter. The Truman Wildcats trailing 7-29 against the Rivercrest Colts, but they have got it 1st and 10, and they are getting pretty close to that Rivercrest Colt red zone.
Yeah, you're 22-yard line, 1st down. You know, earlier in the game I would say, okay, we're going to see a run here, but with the way they've been mixing up their play calling on this drive alone, you don't really have a good feel for what's coming next, which is exactly what you want if you're Truman.
Yeah, absolutely. They have had some success through the air, moving it down the field on this drive. Let's see if they can keep it going. 1st and 10. It's going to be a keeper. White up the gut. He is down to the 15, still on his feet, keeping those feet moving all the way down to the 12-yard line, and I'm pretty sure he got enough to move the chains once again.
Yeah, the chains are moving right here on the Ritter Communications replay. Nothing special here, just a quarterback keeper up the gut, and watch him fight for extra yardage here. 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders finally bring him down after a 10-yard gain. Hey, I
super impressed with Will Ryan White.
Yeah, you talk about some intestinal fortitude there. and just grit and heart. I mean, that's the kind of guy you want as your team leader. I mean, you follow him wherever he wants to go.
Jesse Pinner is in the backfield. He's going to get the handoff. He's going to rumble forward all the way down to the 5-yard line. Keeps his feet moving.
I believe he got in.
He did. The Wildcats will score from 12 yards out on a downhill run from Jesse Pinner.
How about that? Look here on the Ritter Communications replay. Right up the middle he goes. There's 1 and 2 guys, 3, 4, and he just keeps the leg drive going. 5, 6 guys, half the defense, and he carries them into the end zone.
That is a grown man run from the senior from Truman. He shaves his face with a rusty razor at night. My goodness. That comes with 25 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, and we got a brand new ball game. See if Truman wants to go for the extra point or go for 2. They're going to go for 2.
I think that's the right call in this situation. You've got all the momentum. You've kind of got Rivercrest defense on their heels. Why not try to strike it?
White trying to find an edge. He's going to backpedal now and be dropped back at about the 12-yard line. Excellent pursuit that time by Chase Russell, who lives up to his first name. Chased down the quarterback that time and will cancel out that 2-point conversion attempt. But the Wildcats find the end zone. 29-13 is now the score. 25 seconds remain in the third quarter here on Tubetown.
How much bandwidth will satisfy your home's hunger? The average household now has more wireless devices in use a day than ever before, including TVs, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. HD streaming and gaming can use large amounts of data and slow down speeds for other users. The more devices you use, the more bandwidth your home needs. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get up to 100 megs with internet from Ritter Communications. It's the speed you need to power all your devices. Call today.
Welcome back to Truman, where the Wildcats have found the end zone for the second time tonight. They now trail the Rivercrest Colts 29-13. Could not convert on that 2-point conversion, but Marcus, we might have a new ball game on our hands.
I believe so. It'll be interesting to see what happens here, because I think at the end of that 12-play drive, the Rivercrest defense was looking a little fatigued. And now you kind of feel like Truman has taken some of the momentum here. You know, if Truman could come out and either get a 3-and-out or maybe force a turnover here, you don't know what could happen. I mean, that would be huge for Truman to come out and do that.
Yeah, 12 plays, 6 minutes, and now they kick it off. Scott had to go up to get that kickoff. Now he's taking it to the far side of the field, gets a stiff arm off on one defender, and is able to avoid another as he runs out of bounds with 16 seconds remaining here in the third quarter.
Good pursuit on that kickoff there to just force him out of bounds. If you can't get him to go down, push him out of bounds.
Take another look at the
it's kind of a short kick, kind of that mid-range kick, and that's a great play to field the ball there. That could have easily went over his head.
Yeah, and then how about the stiff arm there?
2 stiff arms, and the third defender's just like, okay, let me just push him out of bounds here.
I don't want to catch a palm to the face. 16 seconds remain from the 30-yard line. Here's a run. Bouncing off defenders on the far side hash marks. Kentavious Robinson able to pick up about a yard, and that should take us to the fourth quarter. And it will. So, 3 quarters in the books. The Wildcats trying to find a little bit of momentum here at the end of this game, but Rivercrest has got a chance to potentially put a nail in the coffin here as we get ready to come back and start the fourth quarter. We're back right after this here on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
No matter what kind of business you own or operate, you need to keep it connected. Ritter Communications delivers the fastest business internet speeds available at a price that won't slow you down. Ritter offers reliable 24-hour service with network monitoring, along with the scalable options your business needs to grow. And we do it all on our own fiber optic network. The choice is yours, and so is the savings. Connect to something better. Call or visit ritterbusiness.com today.
Andy Maness and Marcus Carlton welcoming back to the fourth quarter here between Truman and Rivercrest. The Rivercrest Colts lead in this conference matchup 29-13 after the first 3 quarters, but the Truman Wildcats able to find the end zone there at the end of the third quarter. A 12-play, 6-minute drive for the Wildcats. Puts them slightly back in this game, 29-13 again the score.
Andy, as we're waiting Rivercrest to come back out to take the field, we're seeing a little swagger here from the Truman defense. I saw one of their linebackers, kind of doing the Conor McGregor strut. So it'd be interesting to see if they're able to bow up here on second down and force Rivercrest into a 3rd and long situation.
Rivercrest got all their big boys out on the offensive line, and they have got a big boy in at running back into Key Slayton. Oh, able to draw false start, going to go against the Rivercrest Colts. I thought for sure it was going to go against Truman, but
that's a big penalty because
that is
2nd and 8 becomes 2nd and 13 now.
It's been a fairly well-disciplined game between these two teams tonight.
Yeah, for the most part, I agree.
Think by my count, that's only the 6th penalty of the night. Each team now with 3 apiece. Again, those are your unofficial stats.
Andy, I just got an update. Westside has tied Highland at 30.
Here's Contavious Robinson on the 2nd down handoff. Nearly bobbled the handoff and is able to get back to about the original line of scrimmage, only about 1.5 yards, maybe 2-yard gain, so 3rd and 11 coming up.
Yeah, that brings up the 3rd and long situation we were talking about for Rivercrest. Truman defense, as I said, when we got ready to start here, the start of the 4th, they came out with a little swagger, and they forced now Rivercrest into a 3rd and 12. If they could get this stop here and get off the field, that it's a huge win.
And again, that they could have kept that Rivercrest Colt defense out on the field long enough to have fatigued the offense. But here's a pitch out to Robinson. He's got about 2 dudes in front of him, and he is gone. Ooh. There was no doubt about that one from the get-go. As long as there's no flags, you can chalk up another 6 points for Contavious Robinson.
Wow.
We knew it as soon as the ball was snapped.
Yeah.
He was gone.
Look here on the replay.
Everybody bit to the inside, and Robinson, all he had to do was make a couple of dudes miss, and he is gone.
You can tell right there that he hits the Jets right there, and nobody's going to catch him at that point. Wow.
That is incredible. Let's see how far of a run that was. I think it was at least 70 yards. Ooh, nearly got to that extra point attempt, but it'll go up and through. And just like that, the Rivercrest Colts have answered on a 3-play, less than a minute drive, 36-13. Contavious Robinson taking it a good.
That's about 70 yards, because I want to say they were either on the 23 or the 27. I didn't get a good look on the replay, but it's 70 plus. We'll call it 70 plus.
And again, they do hit the extra point, so it is 36-13. Boy, when it rains, it pours here in Truman. Well, I don't want to say that.
Yeah.
I don't want to invite any of that.
Looking
bad
at the
weather.
radar earlier, let's not go there.
Let's change colloquialisms there. Let's find something else to say.
Wow, that's an impressive run. I mean, he hit the outside there, got past. He had 3 defenders, and he just kind of split the defenders. And at that point, he was gone.
So take a look at Will Ryan White out here. He's shaking his left hand out there. I don't know if he's maybe might have tweaked it a little bit. He is right-handed. He's going to have to come up and get this football. He muffed it, got his hands on it. It's picked up inside the 20. Dropped at the 20-yard line. The Wildcats avoiding a disastrous play there, but Will Ryan White is still down on his knees, and actually, sorry, that's Gunnar Parks over there who's down on his knees, but White just comes up to get it, overran it, couldn't field the bounce, and Parks got smoked over there at the 20.
He hit him so hard it knocked our camera loose.
Golly, Parks makes his way off the field. And now the Wildcat offense will come back out as soon as White has got the play. Parks is going to go out there with him. Ball will be spotted on the Truman 20-yard line. The Colts have scored in the first minute of the first
Every
quarter, the second quarter, and the fourth.
And the fourth.
Quarter.
That's right. That's right.
Here's a handoff to Morgan running up the middle. And he will pick up about 2 yards. Make it 3 yards. And it'll be 2nd and 7 coming up. Easton Elder in there on the tackle. Again, calling his name a few times tonight. Dominating at that linebacker position. Number 14 in there.
Andy, I don't have any stats on Robinson, but he's got to be pushing 200 yards now, doesn't he?
I mean, he's got an 80-yard touchdown to his credit and a 70-yard touchdown to his
that's
credit.
150 right there.
Yeah, so I would dare say that he's picked up 50 here and there on the runs that they've had. Here's White rolling out, fires one just short of his intended receiver, threw it right at his feet. Barnes, the intended receiver, couldn't come up with it. And so now 3rd and 8 coming up here with 10:09 left to play in the ballgame.
Andy, we've got a shootout at Westside tonight. Westside tied it at 30. Now Highland has taken the lead 36-30 with a minute and a half left in the third.
Oh, boy.
It's another 4A matchup.
Rivercrest in control of this 4A3 matchup, trying to come into the 4A classification this year and establish their will like seems like they've done for the last several years at the 3A level.
Yeah, and they've come in, and I mean, they're 3-0 coming into tonight, and you know, looking like right now they're well on their way to 4-0.
White looking to throw, gonna just chunk it down the field. Got a man down the near sideline who laid out for it and just missed it. Gotta give credit to Gunnar Parks for putting his body on the line for that one. What a throw, what an attempt. Just couldn't connect, and so now it's 4th and 7. Oh, man, that's frustrating, and you feel for him on that one. That would have been so pretty.
Yeah, and he did everything he could. And a great ball thrown by White, and it's just Parks was just, you know, if he's an inch taller, he probably catches that.
So now Truman going to have to punt it away on 4th and 8, well into their own territory. Low snap, low kick, but it'll take a wildcat roll.
Nobody back for Rivercrest to return it, so they'll just play it where it lands.
Right at the 40-yard line, they'll spot it at the 41. And here come the Rivercrest Colts.
Another score for you, Andy, from the 5A this time. Nettleton has opened it up on Batesville. They lead 20, let's see, is that 27-3 now? While I'm double checking that one, I'll give you a score from the 3A. Piggott all over Manila tonight. The final score, Piggott 68, Manila 7. We're going to double check that Nettleton score. Last score I had was 11-3, but I think we may have got some bad info there.
It was 5-3 at halftime.
Yeah, 5-3. So I guess you scored 6 runs in the 7th there.
1st and 10 from the 41. There is the pitch. And new tailback into the game for the Colts is Alex Hinklin, his 2nd carry of the game.
Safe to say, I think we've probably seen the last of Robinson.
Yeah, the Colts have got a new offensive unit in there into the game, so Robinson will come over and enjoy his carries he's had tonight. Still see Kashawn Scott in there, and playing quarterback is Easton Elder. Plays linebacker and QB, and had a false start there. It looks like Keyshawn Scott off to an early start there. So they'll back it up and try it one more time. 5 yards back. 2nd and 12 coming up. Truman with a bit of a gauntlet ahead of them after tonight's game. You look at the next 4 for them are all on the road. Have to go to Brooklyn, then they have to go to Gosnell, Highland, and Pocahontas. Those 3 games in a row right there are going to be tough.
Yeah, that's a tough stretch for anybody.
Scott on the handoff will be pushed backwards. His forward progress stopped at about the 38-yard line, so they'll back him up a yard, and we'll have 3rd and 13 coming up.
two of those teams are facing off against each other tonight, Pocahontas and Brooklyn, and it's all Redskins tonight as they lead 45-16 in the fourth quarter. Pocahontas is just I think with that new sophomore quarterback they've brought in, Chester, I think he's kind of found his own now, and offense seems to be rolling for the Redskins.
Well, and speaking of the Redskins, they'll have to play the Colts here in about 3 weeks. Talked about Gosnell, Highland, and Pokey. That'll
be a fun game.
Those are the 3 games coming up next for the Rivercrest Colts in that order: Gosnell, Highland, and Pocahontas. Here's another handoff running around the left, and could have been a face mask there, but it wasn't. Still on his feet. Rivercrest Colts are going to move it back into Truman territory. What a
Big
downhill run by Alec Hinkle.
Yeah, Hinkle, see it here on the Ritter Communications replay, takes the handoff and cuts through. Oh, he had him by the shoulder, but he fought it off, and he gains, well past the first down marker. Of course, Hinkle's coming in. He's got fresh legs, so he wants to get in and make a name for himself, and he does a great job on that carry right there.
Yeah, makes it 1st and 10, and he's got to show Coach that he wants some minutes in there too, but boy, when you got Kentavious Robinson ahead of you, it's hard. You got to take those minutes where you can get them.
Absolutely.
Scott's going to go in motion, and he'll be called for a false start once again. Haven't had a whole lot of laundry in tonight's football game, but we've had 2 penalties here on this drive alone for the Rivercrest Colts, so I believe those are their 4th and 5th penalties respectively here in tonight's game.
Yeah, and I don't think it matters if the score is, 36-13 or 3-0. Coach Fleming's not going to be happy anytime you see the yellow flag fly out onto the field.
Because it may not matter in this game, but don't want those problems to linger around in games where the score is going to be a little bit closer.
Got clarification on that Nettleton score. They still lead 11-3 late in the third quarter.
Again, Nettleton facing off against the Batesville Pioneers there in that 5A East matchup. Here's the 1st and 15 carry. I think that was DeKey Slayton on the carry. Nope, check that. It was Anthony White on the carry. So yet another tailback into the game for the Rivercrest Colts.
Is that 5 different tailbacks that we've seen tonight?
I believe it is, because we've obviously DeMylan Brown is the quarterback, taking quite a few carries. Keyshawn Scott, we've seen Alec Hinklin, there's 3. And then, of course, Kentavious Robinson is 4. So, yeah, that is the 5th. If you include DeMylan Brown, absolutely. Anthony White, the 5th running back into the game.
I mean, he's basically like a running back that can throw. So
more or less.
I say we include him.
Here's a pitch out to Scott. Scott runs over one of his own blockers, just trying to find some space. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 10 coming up.
And the clock continues to roll at this point, which I think is what Rivercrest wants. You've got this game in control. We're closing in on 6 minutes. You just keep the clock rolling and, get out of here without getting anyone hurt and, have a very happy ride back to Mississippi County tonight.
Yeah, they will be very happy to head back to Wilson with another win in the win column. 3rd and 10 coming up. 8 seconds left on the play clock. As Marcus said, they're going to try to milk it as far down as they can here. Here's the handoff to Hinklin. Hinklin found an outside edge, and boy, he is low to the ground when he runs.
Yeah.
He's across the 40 down all the way to the 38, and it'll be 4th and short coming up.
Hinklin's got some wheels, man. He's taken that same play a couple times, and he's gained, about 12 yards on the first one, and he gained close to a first down there on the second run here.
Yeah, he is 5'5", and he is using all 5'5" of it to weave in and out of traffic there.
Using that low center of gravity to his advantage.
4th and 2 coming up now. We'll see if they can convert here and keep the clock rolling.
You give it to Hinklin again?
With that, you got DeKey Slayton, big 33, standing right there in the backfield, and that's who they're going to hand it to. You need 2 yards, you give it to the 250-pounder. He's able to pick up the first down and move the chains.
That's a large young man right there.
Yeah, DeKey Slayton, they've got him in at 220, but from up here, that's a small 220.
Another update from the shootout at Westside. Westside takes a lead at the beginning of the fourth quarter. They now lead 38-36 over Highland.
Ooh, Warriors coming in possibly with an upset over the Rebels. Oh, they're
going to measure it here.
Come out and measure this football with 4:57.
I'm going to say he's got it. I'm going to say yes.
It looked from where he fell like he had it by more than a yard or so.
Oh yeah, he's good. He's got half the length of the football. If they've got the chain tight, yeah. First down.
The Colts are out there kind of dancing out there on the field. They are enjoying this one here tonight. And rightfully so, because their offense has come out and put up some points on the scoreboard. Coming into tonight's game, they were outscoring opponents 83-53. So an average of 30 points. And, well, looky here. That's about where we're at right now. Here's Hinklen on a first down carry. He's pushed backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a flag. Comes flying out late for a late hit. Whistle had been blown a couple of times.
Yeah, that's frustration. That's defense is frustrated. They have, the last couple of possessions have been kind of rough for the defense, and it's just a frustration foul.
Yeah, so they will move it further into their own territory. Rivercrest will have it. It should be 1st and 10 from inside the 25-yard line.
You see here, I mean, the play's blown dead right there, and then they go ahead and drive Hinkle down to the ground. So that's the right call.
So now 1st and 10 from the 22.
The clock will roll. False start. Or did he jump? Did he?
Well, I saw a towel come flying out, so
I'm not sure what happened there.
But a flag was thrown. I think it's going to be, yep.
They called offsides.
I was going to say, it looked like one of the black and gold jerseys jumped a little bit early, but I wasn't sure.
That's interesting to me because normally when you see offsides called, unless contact was made, they're not going to blow it dead.
Yeah.
So he must have made contact with one of the linemen.
Encroachment.
Yeah.
1st and 5 now after back-to-back penalties on the Wildcats. Nearing the 4-minute mark left here in this one. Colts going to see if they can find the end zone one more time with their reserve squad. DeKey Slayton in the backfield. Hinklen lined up to the right. He goes in motion. It's a keeper. Elder going to try to find the 15-yard line himself. He's slung down hard. Jay Taylor Morgan on the tackle there for the Truman Wildcats. And now 2nd and 4 coming up after the 1-yard carry.
A lot of running there just to gain 1 yard. Well, they gave him 2, so.
Yeah, 2nd and 3 now coming up. We're going to let the play clock start and run down quite a bit. Now they'll come back out and try to convert this short 2nd down and keep the clock rolling some more. We're at 3:15 right now. 23-point lead here for the Colts. Here's a run to the right. 7th running back of the game is Jay Smith now takes a carry.
That's amazing to me that you've got 7 different guys that you could put out there to carry the ball, that you have enough confidence in to let them carry it.
There are 7 guys listed on our roster here that have running back out.
Well, there you go.
8 if you include the fullback. There's a handoff to another new guy. He's across the 10, the 5. He's going to find the end zone. Alton Barnes. Excuse me, Bournes on the touchdown run there. He doesn't have running back out by his name. He's got wide receiver, but he has no problem taking it in for a touchdown, extending the Rivercrest lead on that. It was a 12-yard touchdown run.
Getting a lot of congratulations over there on the sideline from his teammates. Always like to see good camaraderie among teammates, and you see a kid maybe get a carry that doesn't see a lot of action, and he gets in and makes the most of it with the touchdown.
Colts are going to kick the extra point through the uprights. They now lead 43-13. here with 2:28 left to play in the fourth quarter on Tubetown. Live local from Ritter Communications.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm home alone. Someone is trying to get in the back door.
Find a safe place like in a closet or under a bed, okay?
Okay.
Be very quiet and don't worry. Your home phone gave me your location.
Hurry.
Help is on the way.
Only a dedicated home phone can quickly pinpoint your address for emergency personnel. Cell phones can't. Keep your loved ones safe for less than 60 cents a day with a home phone from Ritter. Call today or go to rittercommunications.com.
Welcome back to Truman, where the Rivercrest Colts have found the end zone once again. A 12-yard touchdown rush from Alton Bournes, the sophomore for Rivercrest. They hit their extra point, and they now lead this one 43-13. 2:28 left to play here in the ball game. There's the kick taken inside the 15-yard line. Will Ryan White's going to take it right up the middle of the field across the 40, the 45, 50. 2 men left to beat. Jukes a man at the 40. The rest of the Colts catch up to him, but what a return from Will Ryan White.
Very nice return. Great juke there at the end. You see it right here on the replay. And I think he had a little taken some of his frustration and anger and put it into this return. Because once he gets to the outside here, he kicks the jets on, jukes a guy here, had to slow down just enough that it let the rest of the Colts catch up, as you said. And, you know, Truman's got great starting position here.
Yeah, he sent Riley Jones to the deck, broke his ankles there on that little juke move at the 40-yard line. Had the kicker and one more man left to beat. Puts the Wildcats into some pretty good field position here at the end of this football game. Let's see if they can't get some momentum going for their next ball game, again hitting the road and traveling down to Brooklyn next week for another conference matchup. Here's the handoff, run right up the gut, across the 25-yard line, and that is going to be Milton Lewis III taking the handoff from Connor McLean, the new quarterback in for the Wildcats. Take another look there.
It's a nice run. Almost looks like a busted play at the beginning, but he breaks through the line and, you know, keeps his leg drive going and takes 3 or 4 guys to pull him down.
Yeah, I think you're right. It looked like the hole that he was trying to find wasn't there initially, so he found the one he could take. One time Gunnar Park's going to be tripped up just past the line of scrimmage, so 2nd and 8 now coming up.
Looking around the state, Andy, you know, into the third, West Memphis leads Marion 22-14. Newport and Walnut Ridge tied at 27 with about 3 minutes left in the third quarter.
Wow.
Another great game there. EPC leads Rector 25-19 late in the third.
A lot of close games on our hand around the area.
Yeah.
2nd and 8 coming up here. There's the handoff to Lewis. Lewis trying to find a corner. Juke move at the 20. Pushed outside at about the 19-yard line. Clock will continue to roll with about a minute left in this one.
And just as I give that score, it looks like Newport takes the lead but missed the extra point. So they're up 33-27 with a minute left in the third. And we've got some high-scoring, close games around the area tonight.
A lot of good football as we start conference play. Everybody trying to go ahead and get a leg up on the competition in the standings. 3rd and 5 coming up. 25 seconds remaining here in the ball game. 5 seconds left on the play clock. There's the snap. There's the run from McLean. McLean out to the 15-yard line. Close for the first down marker, but may not have gotten it, but that should be the last play of the ball game.
I think that's going to end it for us here. Put a bow on yet another 30-point victory for Rivercrest here.
They hold to their average. They've been outscoring people by 30 points a game, and they will do it again here tonight as there's the final whistle. And the Rivercrest Colts will pick up their first conference victory at the 4A level at the expense of the Truman Wildcats. The final score tonight's ball game, 43-13. Rivercrest over Truman. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, We're going to wrap up tonight's game for you and tell you about our next adventure next Friday night. It's all coming up on our Ritter Communications post-game show right after this here on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
You live. We put you first. Introducing You First Banking, only at First National Bank.
And looks like Truman is going off for a huddle of post-game prayer. 43-13 your final here, Rivercrest. You know, they did Rivercrest things tonight. They ran the ball. Contavious Robinson broke off long runs where he just turned on the jets and got ahead of everybody. I believe he had one for 70+ and another one, was it 80?
85.
85 yards. So, you know, 2 carries right there. He's over 150 yards for the night. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I know he had to be close to 200 if he didn't bypass 200 somewhere along the way. Rivercrest 4-0, you know, moving on to their next conference game. And I don't know what else to say, Andy. I mean, like I said, they just did Rivercrest things tonight.
That's the absolute best way to put it. I mean, you take the opening kickoff of the football game back 75 yards for a touchdown. You start off the second quarter with a 3-yard touchdown rush that your defense set up. You start off the fourth quarter with a 70-yard touchdown rush from Contavious Robinson. So you start 3 out of 4 quarters with touchdowns, more than likely you're going to win the football game as long as your defense shows up, and they did tonight as well.
Yeah, that increases your chances of victory by quite a bit when you can start 3 of the 4 quarters with a score.
And your defense pitches a shutout in both the second and the fourth quarter. So kudos to the Colts defense tonight, only allowing 13 points. They played great. Forced a couple of turnovers as well. Had a fumble and an interception to their credit. So they played great. And I think that they have really set the tone for themselves here in the 4A3 this year with this
Absolutely.
victory.
I think you've got to say, you know, and I know we're early in the conference play here, but Rivercrest, you know, going into week 2 of conference play, they now sit at 4-0 overall on the season. I believe they've got a big rivalry game with Gosnell coming up. Let's see, their next game is at Brookland, which I think they will probably take care of business there. But the one thing you have to be careful of with such a rivalry game as Gosnell looming after Brookland, you can't overlook Brookland and look ahead, because we've seen it many times on every level of football. If you get to looking past an opponent, they can sneak up on you and take you down when you're not expecting it.
And that's not what you want if you're the Wildcats, especially coming off a 9-2 season last year, 6-1 in the 4A3. They want to be back at the top of this conference again at the end of this year. So definitely can't sleep on Brookland, because they'll come back. You know, they, as you mentioned, have a chance to come up and make some big things happen. But, man, that is a murderer's row coming up after that, at Gosnell, at Highland, at Pocahontas.
Yeah, that's
tough task ahead of the Truman Wildcats. But if they can string some things together like we saw them do somewhat tonight, they could be in a good position to be at least, you know, third, second, somewhere in the standings at the end of the year.
Well, and coming off this game, you know, you don't want to let this game beat you twice. So you go back, you look at film, you regroup, and you get ready for the next one. There's nothing you can do with this one. It's over with. It's behind you. Move on to the next game.
Yeah, and then again, the Rivercrest Colts will face off against Gosnell, Highland, and Pocahontas.
So they have a tough stretch as well.
Those are their next 3 games. So those 3 teams usually are the 3 teams that are at the top of the 4A3 conference. So we'll find out what Rivercrest is made of over the next few weeks. As Marcus said, they go to a record of 4-0 on the year. Truman falls to a record of 1-3. For everybody who made tonight's game possible, all of our camera crew, all of our guys down in the truck, our graphic operators and things like that. Big thanks to Marcus Carlton. I'm Andy Maness saying so long for this Friday night. We'll see you next week back here on Tubetown.
Blytheville at Nettleton.
Have a great night, everybody.